Hello.
Are we live?
Hello. Type in hashtag early bird right now. There's two things I need you to do to get us kicked off here tonight. I need you to type in hashtag early bird. You're gonna win a pack of dragon shields if you get picked at random. I also need you to hit that like button. Jake is exactly right. Those likes need to get to 69 as soon as possible, or we might just turn the stream off.
ASAP as possible, please.
Front and center, FNC double time.
Wait, FNC double
Front
time?
and center, double time, fast, twice as fast as you would normally go. Hashtag early bird and hit that like button. I'm gonna go grab some dragon shields off this shelf behind me. Jake, say hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to us.
Joel, let me know when we're live, and I'll go ahead and I'll respond to chat. So you just let me know. You let me know if and when we go live. All right. Just gonna get ready to talk to all these fools. Zero respect for anybody here.
Are we still doing office lines? What are we doing?
I'm just waiting till we go live, and then I'm gonna talk to all these degenerates that follow us.
Hey, did you see all the comments we got on our drafting video? I seriously thought that people were gonna watch us draft and go, y'all should really not do this. Y'all should probably avoid this.
Wait,
but people
avoid
really
what?
people avoid drafting in the future. No more draft content out of you guys. That's kind of what I thought we were gonna get. But on the draft, two draft VODs, dude, no, we've got a lot of great comments. A lot of people being like, it's nice to hear the thought process out loud, especially between two people that sort of approach it in two different ways. Got a lot of good content. Got a lot of good comments out of that. A lot of good comments on that content.
The likes are getting rejected at 69. We're gonna have to see if we can break past that floor there. I see 68. I think we're gonna crash through 69. Actually, this is looking good.
Jake can't focus until we're at 69 likes. It is known. Hashtag early bird is what I need you to type. I'm going to run a giveaway here. You're gonna get to pick between these 4 boxes of dragon shields, whichever flavor you want. You just got to type in hashtag early bird.
Joel, I have to say this, and thank you for being a champion, because my favorite thing is when I go back through the stream vlogs and I'm like, Joel brought up a point and I just didn't even hear it. Or you'll bring up a good topic and I'll be like, nope, I'm reading chat. There's so many missed opportunities, and I'm sorry, because you bring up a lot of really great points.
It's improv,
and sometimes I'm just like, I didn't hear you. Or Joel will be in the middle of a point and I'll be like, hey, well, I just thought of this.
Christmas this year, we should do this. Shit. No, yeah, dude. My favorite one of those ever, because they do happen, but it's all good. We've got improv background like crazy, man. That's what we do, is we're good at feeding off of each other. But let me tell you, my favorite one ever.
Time when we did farming.
Right,
yeah.
The farming really helped too. Lots of unspoken, not unsmoken. Everything gets smoked if it's around us. What?
Corn and watermelon farmers. If you never would have known, and this is the only time we'll ever talk about it.
Sounded like you said horn, not corn.
Corn
and watermelon.
Corn. That might have something to do with my mic not picking up my cuss sounds.
My favorite one ever was when somebody goes, "Oh, that's a good card in vintage," in the chat, and you go, "Oh, Joel, that's a good card in vintage." Yeah, I could see vintage, and I go, "That card's banned in vintage." And you're like, yeah, I could see it in vintage actually being a really playable card if you did this. And I was like, banned in vintage. That one is banned in vintage. And you're like, yeah, I mean, I could see that being a good vintage card for sure. And I was like, banned in vintage.
You like have to bring out the banned in vintage.
God. Banned in vintage. Yeah. But
we got a whole bunch of people watching. This is super sweet. It's so many of the usual suspects. We're taking a break from Foil Quest, but I did just see on Amazon our boxes are starting to come in
next Tuesday.
They're going to be here next
sure.
week.
Yep.
Next Tuesday. Keto,
Just Ray,
D Hammer, all these folks hanging out.
Just
Thanks so much,
Ray,
everybody.
you have won the giveaway. I'm going to tell you the names of the colors, and then I'm going to let you pick. Blue, copper, It's blue matte, copper matte, orange matte, or orchid matte dual.
Orchid matte dual.
Sort of hit a little pause for me and check which flavor you want. Let me know. As always, if you want a giveaway on our channel, please reach out to us on Discord or Twitter or Instagram DMs. Any of them get to both of us. Unless it's Discord, then you're messaging an individual person, but you know that. Tell us, hey, my name is X. I won the X. And here's my shipping address. If you're inside the contiguous United States, we will mail it out to you. If you are outside the United States, we will PayPal you the value of the prize you have won. Just Ray, I haven't seen you pop back into chat, so just let me know at some point which of those 4 you wanted. And we'll get them out to you.
You would not believe, dude, how many people will win something and then they never get back to me with an address.
Oh, yeah,
They'll
me
be
too.
like, hey, I won this thing. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Send me your address. And then they don't follow up.
No,
and then all of those
ain't-
cards.
You ain't gonna come pee on my door.
Dude, you know what happens to all those cards is they go into the shredder because they can't be loved if they're rejected by the person who won them. So, you know, we
I actually said that in my
shred all
wedding
those
vows.
cards.
Nothing can be loved
right.
if the person doesn't accept them.
Essentially, yes, that's right.
Y'all, we got a host of things to talk about tonight, and we're gonna wrap up with playing the last 2 matches of a draft that we started on Sunday. That's just been sitting there. We're gonna finish that one up. Weird little blue, white, black, control-y type build, but
Yes.
it got there in game 1, so we're 1-0
It
with
did.
that deck. And
Yeah, it's kind of a weird curve, but we are going to do that. And, you know, depending on if we win, maybe we just draft another deck and then
yeah, we'll
wrap
see.
up after that.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we'll see where we're at time-wise by the time we get to that. But we got 4 things we want to talk about tonight. Mainly, and this wasn't a topic until I was taking my pre-show hot caca, and I saw a nice little Twitter notification about, oh my God, Secret Lair Fortnite has been revealed.
Yeah, we need to look at Secret Lair Fortnite. So for anybody sitting in chat, did you miss this? No, you haven't missed it. It isn't out yet. We've seen the teaser. They have not done the sale, but we've seen the product. And there are some pretty sweet cards that are available.
Yeah, we got some cool ones there. And then I want to answer a question of some stuff, some questions we've got based on other videos we've made and in the Discord. But I want to look at the reserve list, and I want to look at it. We want to look at it in the little more expensive terms. You know, we've gone like, what are the most budget ones that are worth, you know, worth picking up? Now we want to look at the ones it's like, hey, you want to park $100 bill on the reserve list? Where would we do it right now? So that's what we're going to look at.
Yeah, like what reserve list cards are worth their $100 price? Because you're going to have some of them that are just like, okay, it's $100 because it's scarce, but it's got such a niche effect that you just don't even really need to pick it up. Or you're going to have some that are clearly worth their price and will probably be on the rise just because that's how the reserve list works. One thing that I've kind of noticed,
awesome,
which
Just
is
Ray,
interesting.
thank you.
Oh, what'd I miss?
Oh, nothing. They were messaging me on. They messaged us that they messaged about the giveaway. That's it.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, and we're also going to do the Patreon giveaway tonight. So every month on our Patreon, we give back to our community in the form of 2 winners chosen at random to pick a precon or a bundle going back a few sets. We are going to run that giveaway here tonight. So if you want to be entered into that, it is a fantastic time to go and check out our Patreon. Our Patreon, Jake, I'm sorry, I just stumbled right over what you were saying with a Patreon ad.
I don't even know what I was saying.
Oh, well, good. If you are interested in joining our Patreon, here's all the stuff you get in a nutshell. Every tier is going to get a double-headed or a signed foil card from us. Currently, it is 2-headed giant. You are also entered into that giveaway.
But we should tell them. 2-headed giant. Chat, we're just going to tell you now.
Look at this, Jake.
2-headed giant. We've pretty much bought all of the foil ones, and now the price is just dumb to like seek them out and continue buying them. And so we are going to be moving on to a new promo card that we're going to be signing. So if you're like, man, I want to get in on the two-headed giant before Jake and Joel stop doing two-headed giant as their promo for the Patreon,
yes,
then I would say get in there soon, because there's probably only like 30 or 40 more two-headed giants that will end up going out.
Probably
and
so.
then it will move on to a different card.
Yeah,
because there's still 25 that need to be sent out, and then whatever you're sending me minus that 25.
Right.
So
yeah. So any level is going to get you a signed foil card from us. Any level is going to gain you access to our series called Foil Quest, which is where you can sponsor boxes that we open live on channel. And then any level is also going to get you access to our Commander League, which is a Commander tournament that's played month over month. The format resets at the beginning of each month. You get a budget, you get a concept to build around. This month's concept was that the commissioner spun a wheel and assigned us all random commanders from Baldur's Gate. And so we're playing Wheel of Baldur's Gate. We all have $100
shout out to Bobby
budget.
Z.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby Z, the commish of the Commander League. So any level is going to get you all that. And then there's rewards for higher tiers. So I just dropped the link in the description to join our Patreon. You can get added to that bundle / pre-con giveaway that we will run at the end of the night. And we'll remind you a time or two before we run it.
Oh yeah.
So go check that out if you want to. Jake, you want to swap over and check out this Fortnite Secret Lair?
Dude, I think that we should absolutely talk about the Fortnite Secret Lair. There are a couple very playable cards in this Secret Lair, and it seems like it's going to be a cool crossover. There's part of me that's like, oh man, are they going to put an MTG character into Fortnite? If not,
hopefully.
That seems like a missed opportunity.
Let's swap over. All right, so Secret Lair Fortnite revealed on IGN. Jake, we've got quite a few very cool cards to look at, and we got to set this up a little bit. I swear, if we had done this like 2 months ago, Jake and I would not have gotten any of these references at all. However, we Jake and I for the longest time have played first-person shooters, especially love battle royales. When this game went without building, we picked it up and we played pretty religiously for like a month and a half, and still occasionally do. And so we've got this interest now in this Secret Lair that I don't think we would have had prior to that. So wanted to set up, kind of what our perspective is on this before we're like, oh my God, we love these cards, and you don't really understand why we do love them so much.
Yeah, I really like this game. It's one of my favorite third-person shooters that I've ever picked up. I didn't expect to play it so much, but it has a fun crossover between fandoms where you can like customize and have crazy shit. You can have a stormtrooper that's doing a dance of like Rick Astley from the 80s. It's just like it's silly, it's irreverent, it's just a fun shooter game. But one of the cards in this, and I'm not going to say which one yet, is like perfect for one of my commander decks. It has a nice flavorful feel for that commander. There's a couple good relevant hits in here. Have they already hit us with the price, Joel?
I haven't seen a price. That's what I'm looking for right now. But with the set itself, we are looking at a set that comes in this box. I guess it's in this special box. Maybe this was just a presentation box for the IGN writer that received this. But we have two drops as part of this: Secret Lair X Fortnite and Secret Lair X Fortnite landmarks and locations. So I'll go ahead and tell you, this X Fortnite has the cards in it. Landmarks and locations is your basic lands Secret Lair. Looking at what we've got though in these two layers, we'll start with the X Fortnite. This is just more presentation of how they came. These are your two layers, your X Fortnites on the left and your landmarks and locations on the right. But Wrath of God, Shrinking Storm is Wrath of God. Nice little reprint of a commander relevant board wipe.
Yeah, I like that it's Wrath of God and it's not Day of Judgment. I like that they went with Wrath. It's cool to get a reskin of Wrath. And yeah, it looks pretty sweet. It's this nice borderless version. For me, I'm just going to tell you straight up already, I'm only getting non-foils of this. If
Yeah.
it's only available in foil, I'll get it in that. But this does not look foil. This looks good.
Supply llama. If you're familiar with Fortnite, supply llamas run around the map, and if you can burn them down, they're worth it. If you can't burn them down, you can't. They're not worth it. But this is a reskin of Ethereum Sculptor. Kind of an interesting choice for me for supply llama, making Ethereum Sculptor, which has all your artifact spells, costs one less, be supply llama. But you know, I guess it kind of works. It gives you free stuff.
D Hammer says they're reprinting their own Secret Lair original card in a new Secret Lair. What the F? What card is it?
I'm not sure exactly.
Take a look at it.
We've got Dance of Many, which is Dance Battle, a 2 blue enchantment. It says when it enters the battlefield, create a token that's a copy of target non-token creature. When it leaves the battlefield, exile that token. When the token leaves the battlefield, sacrifice Dance Battle. And at the beginning of your upkeep, sack Dance Battle unless you pay 2 mana. So interesting reprint. I'm not actually super familiar with Dance of Many.
I'm actually looking it up right now. Dance of Many. For anybody who doesn't know, secondary market price of this card, if you were to go get a copy over on eBay, for example, Dance of Many has a 5th edition copy that's $1.40. So
not a very expensive one.
Not a very expensive card, but it is interesting. It has the bear from Fortnite dancing on it.
Yeah, it's a 2 mana clone, like David's saying in chat. 2 mana clone that, you know, is completely reliant on the creature and enchantment being on the battlefield at the same time, and you have to pay a little 2 mana tax. I did see Jank suggest that Supply Llama being a burnished heart would have been very cool. I don't know about the secondary market price of Ethereum Sculptor. Let's look at this real fast. Yeah, so 25 cents. So yeah, that I'm almost as happy if that had just been burnished heart. I do like Supply Llama being a possible burnished heart, but we got Ethereum Sculptor. Let's look at Battle Bus being Smuggler's Copter. If Battle Bus attacks or blocks, you may draw a card, and if you do, discard a card. It's a flying 3/3 with a crew of 1. Don't love this in EDH.
I also don't love this as the flavor of the Battle Bus. This is not what the Battle Bus does. This is a supply, like, this just drops people off.
Right.
Smuggler's Copter is about hitting, doing damage, drawing cards. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. Flavor, as far as flavor goes, it doesn't make much sense. I would could see it more as like,
if it's a hangerback walker, which is going to like
a hangerback walker.
Perfect. Pop and create bodies that are all onto the battlefield. I get that they fly, but you enter the Fortnite world flying off of an artifact. Yeah, don't love the flavor. I'm completely with you there. Would have preferred that being so something like that.
Right.
Or even what's the one that not Triskelion, but it split Pentavis. You know what I'm talking about? Pentavis. Here we go. Enters the battlefield with 5+1/+1. Even this would have been better flavor in my opinion. Where you can,
not exactly the most exciting card, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, Smuggler's Copter is a good card. But yeah, this could have been something else that made more sense, I feel.
Now this is the big one.
Yeah, this is a big one. I think the other big one is Wrath of God, but this one is pretty sweet. It's a nice reskin of Grim Tutor. This is the card I was talking about in the beginning where I was like, there's a card in here that is such a flavor win for one of my decks, and Karavik the Merciless being in like the luxury suite, having all of the expensive whatever, living this life of luxury. I think Crack the Vault as a Grim Tutor is a fun inclusion in there.
Definitely.
Yeah, it looks really sweet, and this is a neat reskin, a nice like modern feel to this card.
This one feels like they knew they needed some sort of heavy hitter in here to pull in the purchases.
Definitely. Something that they could reprint. And think about this. You know what? This is an interesting perspective that we should keep in mind.
$15 for Grim Tutor.
Imagine if they had done this and this was the first reprint of Grim Tutor.
Oh yeah.
The sales of this would be just off the charts. You would have everybody who's like, Grim Tutor's a $250 card. They reprinted a $250 card into this Fortnite Secret Lair.
Look at this though. Look at it the other side of that coin is we were just talking about Imperial Seal and how now they've broken the seal on printing the seal. So are we now going to see Imperial Seal do exactly what they're doing here with Grim Tutor, where now it can just pop up in Secret Lairs, pop up in a $40 Secret Lair as the big price get in that one?
I think they absolutely could do that if they just wanted to print money. They could just be like, Imperial Seal Secret Lair, everybody, and here's 4 other cards that are absolutely jank, but
cares?
somebody was commissioned to do art, and everybody would just be like, I'll have 10 of them.
Right.
Thank you. And that's the thing. I do think with Double Masters right now, there's going to be some sort of artificial scarcity, right?
Of course.
Where people are going to target the seal, and natural demand is going to be there because you're going to have people that are like, I'm looking for the best price. They're going to buy any copy. You're going to have collectors that are like, I need one for my CEDH deck. I want the borderless foil or the etched foil, depending on preference, whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to spring for that.
Yeah.
But then I also believe you're going to have speculative buyers and people with a big bankroll. Who knows who, but like, you know, maybe like stores and stuff like that are going to be like, let's get 10 seals as soon as we can. And we're just going to sit on them and, you know, parse them out over time, which I think would be a smart thing to do too if you have capital. But there is the concern that Secret Lair ends up you know, reprinting it, and then anybody who went hard and spec'd it ends up losing their ass. But I think there is a certain threshold that the card has to get to in order to be Secret Lair eligible, right?
For sure.
I don't think a card can be too expensive or else it's too much reprint equity.
Right.
Something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Battle Royale is the next one in the set. That is a reskin of Triumph of the Hordes. So until end of turn, all your creatures get +1/+1, trample and infect. It's cool to get what is basically a win condition card. Yeah, I mean, Triumph of the Horde is an uncommon that is up in the $12 to $15 range. So having a reprint of this in a Secret Lair, very welcome.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, as far as a fun one, it's a sorcery, so you get to haha Battle Royale. It's my Fortnite Triumph of the Hordes. But also, most players are going to be playing this when they're like eliminating a player. So I think it's a nice little like finishing move for whatever your commander deck is that tries to win with Triumph of the Hordes. I
agree with you. This card is 100% player removal. Even if you don't use it to get the kill shot on the game, you're definitely killing somebody with it.
Exactly.
And so yeah, it's a really cool card. It's a fun reprint. It kind of encapsulates what Fortnite is about, which is like a bunch of random characters running around shooting each other with shit.
Yeah, very fun.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, also, yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, look at that. So there are no actual guns in this art, with the exception of the rocket launcher. Very interesting. Bow and arrow, shield, axe. Hard to tell what this is.
That is probably the least Fortnite thing about this is no guns.
No guns. We've also got a reprint of Planner Bridge, and if you remember, I'm pretty sure Planner Bridge is just now being reprinted into 2XM2, which it is. It's like a $5 card max. I mean, it is a cool looking art of it, but it's not a card that I've ever really liked or run. I know that in artifact builds, super sick because you can pump it out early, pay for its ability early with rocks. But for me, Planner Bridge is kind of a, okay, not so much of a like, yeah, dude, I'm excited about this one.
I see chat is not excited about Fortnite.
Yeah, overall, saying 75% of the respondents are saying they're not going to buy this one. Well, that brings us to our basic land set. We got a plains here at a location that I'm sure is wildly iconic. I just don't know. Same thing with Shark Island. We've got some probably OG locations here. Swamp is much more of a forest looking card, but I can kind of see there's a pond there. And then Montagna. Pretty cool versions of these. Secret Lair Fortnite overall, as far as value. Can we talk about the
package for just a second?
Well, I'm wondering if this is actually, you know how they send these promotional items to different content creators or writers or videographers or whatever. And I'm wondering if that's what this is, because it just doesn't make sense that they would have gone to this, and you can probably only order one of these. I don't think they're going to make you order both of these. But yeah, I mean, I know where you're going with it.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I was just going to say, if this is the whole thing, then just bundle them together.
Right.
And don't do this big over the top box, but you're probably going to have some people that get one and not the other, and that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. As far as value goes overall for this one, to sort of answer, is it worth it? Because I doubt we'll do a separate video on this one at this point. Wrath of God, we've got $5 of value on there.
Yeah.
Ethereum Sculptor's basically nothing. Dance of Many, what'd you say on
like
that
$1?
one? Yeah, it's like $1
Essentially
card.
$1. Yeah.
Right. Then you've got the Smuggler's Copter, which at this point, doubtful.
It's banned in stuff, so it's like it doesn't have
less than $1. Banned in Pioneer. You're right.
Yep.
Grim Tutor's gonna be, what did we decide? More like 15.
Maybe.
Yeah, so that
Maybe
one's
even
been
10.
printed nicely down towards 15, starting to work back up into the 16s and 17s. And then you got Triumph of the Hordes, which we saw in Planner Bridge, which just isn't gonna get there. So you got like $12 on the 15 on the Triumph of the Hordes, 12 to 15 there. So
and then like $3 or $4 on the Planar Bridge, right? Right.
Yeah, exactly. But so, that's going to be in 2XM. So, I mean, now, it's going to depend on what they're selling it for.
The question as well is, what is the secret card in here? That's going to be something that I'd be interested in.
Well, I'm wondering if one of those that we saw is the secret card, because this person would have received, this writer would have received what I'm assuming is a whole set.
True.
And normally these licensed sets, the extra card is the is like another licensed card.
Jank with a good note says Foil Triumph is a $40 card. Good catch.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely worth noting.
So overall, I would say that this one is fine. It doesn't do as much to hype me up as I was kind of hoping it would. There's some flavor misses on here for me, but it is what it is. They threw in Grim Tutor and a couple $15 cards to probably make a price that's going to be like 40 or 50 for the layer, right at value, because they've gotten very good at doing that.
Like for me, I really like the Grim Tutor. That's just a perfect representation of scarcity being satiated. A card that was $200 drops down. For me, I'm on the fence. I think Wrath of God is a really good inclusion. Without Wrath of God, I don't know if the Grim Tutor's enough.
Right.
But with Grim Tutor, Wrath of God, and Triumph of the Hordes, it seems like it could get there. And I would have to imagine possibly, this person would have to have revealed the secret card in here.
Well, no, somebody's saying that they didn't. I will go over to MTG Unpacked. I watch MTG Unpacked all the time. It looks like we've got the 2 secret cards up there in the corner. So we're just going to scrub through. Make sure to go subscribe to MTG Unpacked if you want to see some products.
There you go.
Did we already see the secret cards then? I guess maybe before we open them. I see one up there.
Were they not revealed?
I would assume we're going to see it here. Nope.
All right, that seems like such a weird tease to like set those aside and not reveal them the whole stream.
I mean, is it going to be... Maybe it's going to be a different video from MTG Unpacked. Nope. I guess that's it. MTG Unpacked. I've seen you in chat. Are you here? Come on.
Secret Lair Fortnite.
Yeah, they might have asked him not to.
Yeah, possibly so. But we do. Here we go. We do have confirmation. Let's look at the cards that he does reveal.
Yeah.
And see if there's anything that isn't one of those cards that we just talked about. All right. So here's the Wrath.
Yep. Got
which
the
we just
Wrath.
talked about.
Dance of Many.
Dance Battle.
Supply
Okay.
llama. They look good in hand. They pop. The art's really good.
Dual Brain MTG, thank you for that 99-cent super chat. We really appreciate you.
Battle Royale. There's Battle
Says
Bus.
nope.
There's Planner Bridge.
All right, so that looks like everything, and then there's the lands,
Yep, there's all 5 lands.
and then there's no reveal on those, which seems calculated. So we've just done this review, and now it is worth noting we don't know, but it is confirmed that there are secret cards in
Right.
the secret layer, like every secret layer.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Which we can kind of
Well,
guess.
that's good
but
to know.
Yeah, overall, like we said, fairly lackluster as far as the really hype reprint in there. It's nice to see another Grim Tutor, Triumph of the Hordes, Wrath of God. The other ones are kind of misses. And overall, for me anyway, Jake, you can tell me what you think, but kind of a flavor miss.
Yeah.
Alex Cosby in chat saying in his video he mentioned July 19th the secret cards would be revealed. So yeah, that seems calculated as to they want to get it. This was just sort of they sent it out to hype people up for it.
Got it. Okay, cool.
What do you think overall?
Well,
What are your final thoughts on this?
It's going to depend on the price point. If this is boosted up to like $50, definite no. But if I can get the non-foil for 30, I'll probably go for it.
Yeah, I would agree so.
I'm not going to be like going over the top and getting extra copies of it. That whole way of buying for me is kind of there's a few secret layers that I will buy extra copies of that I think will okay, that's fine. I appreciate it. Thank you, baby. Yeah, no, for me, I think I just have to go layer by layer and decide, is it something I want to spec? Is it something that I want to open and play? And this would be one for me that would just be an open and play, but I don't know if it's enough for me with just the Grim Tutor and the Wrath of God. I don't know if I can get there. It would be me buying this whole layer for the Grim Tutor for Karavik is essentially how I feel about it.
So depending when we see the price, I guess viewer watching this, $40, this is probably a nice little value. $50 starts pushing it. And we'd love to see what the extra cards are. Pretty sure those will be set for these because with these licensed ones, they normally are. That's what we think of the MTG Fortnite crossover Secret Lair. Let us know down in the comments what you think of it.
I hope to see an MTG character make it over to Fortnite.
It would be tight.
I would hope that
Run
happens.
around with Liliana and a machine gun.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do this collaboration, do it right. And
Jace with a pistol.
Get a couple. Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. And that's the kind of weird crossover that you get on Fortnite is you'll have a character like Spider-Man that can't jump up buildings and instead has to just run around and kill people with a shotgun.
Oh, man. All right. Secret Lair Fortnite. That was a last minute segment for us.
Yeah, but definitely worth covering. And then it is worth noting that you have just a few days left on the current Secret Lair product. So if you haven't looked at that, there's a really good one that has Mystic Remora in it alongside Burgeoning. So if you don't have either of those cards and you're looking for spicy reprints of those, they both come in the same. Yeah, Grim Tutor was in the Mischief Secret Lair. Grim Tutor, I mean, that's the thing. And wouldn't you like for Imperial Seal to do that?
I would.
I mean, like, Imperial Seal just gets absolutely pummeled down. It's pretty much only really needed in one format. I need to get some water. Give me just a second before we get into this next one.
Sure thing. Dance of Many. Yeah, that's a weird one. Oh my god, Fibblethip as a playable character. Oh yeah! I forgot Grim Tutor was also in that Secret Lair. Thank you for bringing that up, Yizmi. Yeah, look at this. We just got prints on prints of this now. Damn. Hang on, BRB. I'm going to see if I've got that Grim Tutor over here. I've got to do a sorting stream, chat. Now that I'm settled in, I've got to do a sorting stream and just go through all my boxes and put everything in notebooks. Yeah, check this out. Jake, I'd forgotten, and we forgot to mention Grim Tutor in the Mischief Secret Lair. Have you seen this card? Did you get that Mischief Lair?
Oh, we mentioned it briefly in the video.
Okay, I missed that.
I did get that Secret Lair. Yes.
That card looks awesome.
It's really cool. Now, look at how many times since they reprinted Grim Tutor, you can see the copy in the bottom right is started in 1999, chat. That's where it all started. And then the one to the left of that is the MTGO copy, so it doesn't count. So they did this huge reprint in Core Set 2021 or M21, whatever you want to call it, where the card essentially got five different versions if you count the foil version. It got a promo, and now it's going to be reprinted again after the Secret Lair Mischief. So
yeah,
I mean, once you break the seal on one of these old scarce cards, it just plummets out. You start to see that the demand, I mean, it actually isn't there that much.
Nope.
I mean, I'm surprised that the card stabilized at $15. I thought it was going to keep going down, down, down. And I remember those videos. It's really funny because you have videos where people are opening the borderless version and they're just like, oh my God, borderless Grim Tutor. And it's crazy because when they were opening, it was like $100 card.
Right.
And now you can see where it's gone. It's like, oh yeah, it's a card.
It's fine.
It's a card.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's a fine card. That's a fine pull. But now you could buy like a collector booster of that set and pull the Grim Tutor, and you're not even on the booster.
Next segment, we had people asking us. Jake's made some videos, and we talked in stream before, and we've talked in Discord a lot about, like, you know, budget reserve list cards that are $20 or less that are still viable in some single archetypes and may pop off one day if a certain type of commander is printed, etc. And, you know, we've seen that that's not a terrible way of thinking and looking ahead because it's happened before. I mean, in our Sleeper series, we probably put out an episode 2 years ago, maybe longer ago, that called out this card, Faceless One. Is that the name of the card? And
Faceless One is a card, but what is
the black one that you just made a short about, the black creature?
Oh, Desecration Elemental.
Desecration Elemental. Our video from back then called out Desecration Elemental as like a potential card for the future if the right kind of commander was printed. The right kind of commander was printed, and suddenly that card is viable and jumping from a quarter up to, you know, $5 to $10. So what we want to do is look at reserve list cards that are about $100. I've got pulled up right here, and we'll swap over cards that are less than or equal to $100 USD that are reserved, and we're going most expensive to least expensive, and that's kind of how we'll look at this.
That sounds good to me.
Chad, just a reminder, we will be doing the giveaway at the end of the stream for 2 patron bundles or precons. The winner gets to pick. We choose 2 patrons at random. I just dropped our Patreon link there in the chat if you want to go check that out. Lots of cool perks at every level. Let's swap over and introduce this one. Is Imperial Seal really that bad? No. It's quite good.
No, Imperial Seal is a great card. Comparing it to Grim Tutor isn't even worth really comparing it to, because it's a lot better than Grim Tutor because of its mana value. Even though it does put the card on top of the library, they still like to play it.
I think what you get is a lot of people going, well, it's not the best one. And no, it's not. It's not the best one. It's fine, but it has been scarce for a long time, so it's expensive. It's not expensive because it's better than Demonic Tutor. It's expensive because it's been scarce. It's probably like the third or fourth or fifth tutor that you would choose. And so some decks aren't even going to run it because they don't want to run that many tutors.
I'm losing a little bit of... As long as it's good for chat, we're good. I'm just going to pull the stream up because for some reason it's kind of blurry for me here. Watching your Discord stream, so give me just a second.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to pull this out. And yeah, I'll be able to look at the cards here with you more effectively. Yeah, so we could set this up. My idea is, what reserve list cards that are around $100 are worth their price.
Right.
So the price window here is what, Joel? Where is it?
We're
50
maxed
to 100?
Yeah, well, we're maxed at 120 and we're sorted in reverse. So Goblin Wizard is a $120 card. This is the most expensive reserve list card if we're talking the 120 or lower bracket. And we'll just kind of go down from there. So as we move down this list and find good gems that we're like, oh yeah, this could play in this could play in this, you could you know that we're going down in price as we go down the list. Chat, by the way, if you're hanging out, let us know which of these you think they have playability long term, and we might bring it up in this vid.
Also, we have 331 people watching. I'd love to get to 169 likes for the memes. Just for the memes.
Just for the memes. So yeah, we've got it sorted 120 as our highest possible price. All of these are reserve list cards, and we're going down in price. I mean,
for this segment, Joel, let's go ahead and hide the chat box.
Okay.
Just for this one segment here, because it's over the cards.
What if I do like that?
I guess. Yeah, that's good. That works for me. Especially because we're going to be clicking them anyway to read them and take a closer look.
We'll when we find one we like, we can pull it up here. You got prices over here.
So for me, what I'm going to be looking for specifically is, does it have an effect that really nothing else can do, even marginally? You know, does it have an effect that's like, oh well, it is just like, wow, this is really good. I need it for a deck. I would want to play it alongside something similar for redundancy. Or is it just like this stupid red creature here from Legends that just has a freaking destroy target blue creature? It's awful.
Those aren't the cards that we're talking about. What I think we would be talking about is a card like Gate to Phyrexia. Gate to Phyrexia is from Antiquities. It's reserve list. It's $93. It's an enchantment for 2 black that says sack an artifact, destroy target artifact, sack a creature, destroy target artifact, activate only during your upkeep and only once each turn. This is already a good card. If you are playing any kind of Tevish Zat deck, any sort of Aristocrats deck where you're creating a lot of small creatures to sacrifice, Gate to Phyrexia is going to be access to artifact destruction in black. That's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. This card is fantastic. So like what we were just saying, does it have an effect, in this case, in a color that's very specific and niche, but highly desirable? I think that it does. I think that this card is worth its price. I don't know if we see them breaking the color pie like this again for an effect like this. I like this enchantment. You know that I do love enchantments. I think that this card is really good and very strong, and
this is like
also
the
very
perfect
competitive.
kind of representation of what we want in a card like this. This is just hitting the nail on the head. Jake, I know you have a Lake of the Dead, maybe multiple. If it would enter the battlefield, sack a swamp instead. If you do, put it on the battlefield. If you don't, put it in its owner's graveyard. Pay nothing, tap it, sack a swamp to add 4 black mana to your mana pool.
Like, I know that you love that.
Oh, so much.
I know that that's like a balls to the wall, go big effect for a mono black deck. You know, I bought this card during the COVID buyouts where everybody was just going ham buying collectibles. A lot of cards saw a bump in price, and this was one of the cards that I picked up for around $50, or it might have been like 48 or something at the time. But you could see already have 2x the investment. My position is I have 1 card. I think it's lightly played. And but this is another effect where if I'm trying to, you know, cast like dark ritual type effects to get stuff out early, trying to just float into my mana pool, do a big effect, sacrificing a swamp seems like a small sacrifice. And I think that this card is another card that really is worth its price. And, you know, the price is what are people willing to pay for it?
Right.
I think that the effect is good, though.
Yeah, it really is. I really do agree. Yeah, we skip cards like Gaia's Avenger, where it just says the stars below are numbered to the number of artifacts opponent has in play. I think this reads now your opponent's control. Yeah. So, you know, it's big on here because Gaia's Avenger, but that's one where I'm fine with it, but I'm not being like, yeah,
we should discuss
Lake of the Dead. Yeah, Gate to Phyrexia.
We should discuss Goblin Wizard. What do you think of Goblin Wizard?
Tap it to put a goblin permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield, and you can give a goblin pro white for 1 red mana. You know, this one's interesting to me. Goblins is a low to the ground tribe, and so tapping to put a goblin permanent card onto your hand, from your hand onto the battlefield. So type goblin, and we want to see CMC greater than or equal to 5. Sorted by EDH rec rank.
Yeah, because this is kind of how I feel about this card as well.
You're looking at Kiki Jiki, Brash, Taunter, Siege, Gang, Muxus as your top hits. And then under that, you're looking at Ankle Shaker, Wart, depending on your colors with these two. Aki Battle Squad, which is fairly new, but it does require a specific strategy. And then Goblin Dark Dwellers, which I do think is a good card. My point is that with Goblins, it's pretty easy to get your whole hand emptied and have mana to do what you want to do. And so at 4 mana to get this onto the battlefield, it's barely protected with its 1 toughness, just barely alive. And then you tap it to put another one onto the battlefield, and it doesn't even have haste, so it can't be a turn where it's like Goblin Wizard into Muxus or Goblin Wizard into Dark Dwellers. It's kind of lackluster for me, personally.
Filbert says Goblin Wizard is the best card in the dark. That says it all.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you know, it is pretty much the only goblin that has this type of effect. Some goblins put goblins into play when they deal damage.
Right.
This is a tap to put one in, but I feel the same way. I feel like this card is scarce, and that is the only reason why its price is where it is. I think that at this point we get so many more good goblins that even though this effect is good,
sure,
being able to tap something and put something directly on the battlefield is great, especially if you're saving mana on it and it's a free effect. If you have Fervor out or some sort of thing that gives goblins haste, this card gets better. Obviously you're able to play it and then play something else immediately after playing it. It does have this interesting effect that is, for 1 red you can give target goblin protection from white until end of turn. So it hoses Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshares. But yeah, it's still very medium. This is the kind of card where if it did get a reprint, people would be like, hey, are you playing that 4-cost 1/1 goblin that lets you tap and put stuff in?
Yeah,
and most people are probably going to be like, nah.
Wraith, I see comments, you know, can just use something to untap
Log
it.
Catcher is so much better. Sorry.
You can use something to untap it and unload your whole hand at once. Sure. But with a goblin deck, isn't Goblin Wizard the last thing you're playing out of your hand? You know, I mean, and yes, red, I saw somebody else say red has plenty of ways to give it haste for sure. We're just kind of looking at these in a vacuum. Does it do enough by itself to start justifying its price, knowing that its price is mostly upheld by the fact that it's just on the reserve list?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I do kind of like this card, Storm World, in a Punisher deck. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Storm World deals X damage to that player, where X is 4 minus the number of cards in their hand. So if people start getting towards being hellbent, if you're playing in this in some kind of discard deck like Tiny Bones, I'm thinking that this could actually be a pretty playable card, especially at 1 mana.
This is a fun world enchant here. This is interesting.
Super cheap.
Yeah, I think I quite like it.
Yeah, super cheap for its effect, you know, and it fits that commander playable niche effect that we're kind of looking for.
Let's discuss Dreadnought, because I don't think we can just cruise past Dreadnought and not discuss this one. Yeah, this is a very powerful card. There was also a commander that came out, a Dimir commander. It might have been, oh geez, it was like maybe 3 years ago, where Phyrexian Dreadnought saw a jump in price because of a commander. Yes, it is Lazav. Thank you, Jank. That's exactly it.
Well, and this one also as well. The turtle that's a commander, Arkelos. Nope, not Arkelos. No, and it wasn't the turtle. Which one was it that could end the turn immediately? That one also made this card jump up a little bit, because it basically ended the turn and you didn't have to do any of the effects, and it just got to stay on the battlefield. And look, it doesn't even matter what that specific card. Oh, Becca, thank you, chat. What I'm saying is this one sees a jump when it has a commander come into printing that can play with the fact that it is an insanely cheap, huge trampling creature. If it's one that can like end the turn and you can dodge its effect, great. If it's cutting off ETBs, great. You know, the Dreadnought would see another jump. If you want to combine it with something even like as dumb as Greater Good. Greater Good is the one where, to my memory, if I'm remembering the right card, this is the one where, yeah, you can sack a creature, draw cards equal to the sack creature's power, then discard 3. So if you play the Dreadnought while Greater Good's on the battlefield, sack it, you're drawing a ton of cards. That's the only use I really ever see for this card. But when it can be useful, it hits hard as shit, you know?
Me says Dreadnought is also in some legacy Bant decks as a 4 of. I mean, yeah, when you see a card that's a 12/12 with trample for 1, you got to figure out, you know, players are going to be bound to tinker. They're going to be like, how do we possibly make this work? Can it be consistent? Because a 12/12 for 1 is an insane effect. And if you can make it work, I mean, it is a finisher. There's nothing that you can do about it, especially with trample. So yeah, I think it's one of these cards where it's a speculative buy at this price.
100%.
It's the kind of thing where, will it go up? You know, not financial advice, probably so. You know, that's typically how the reserve list works. The charts just go up. They're like the S&P 500 of MTG. It's just like, oh yeah, the reserve list is the ETF that you want to buy if you want to just have consistent slow gains, but it's expensive to get in.
When the way that I look at this is that I do think that these cards that we're targeting here are ones that could potentially go faster. They go up faster than all of the other cards on the reserve list, because all it takes with a lot of the ones that we're talking about is that one commander to be printed that really turns that card into a powerhouse. Bang, bang, boom, you're done. I mean, I love cards like Molrod, dude. Reserve list.
So look at Dress Down, Joel, really quick, because this is what they're saying made it OP is Dress Down.
Oh, I see. I was looking for a card on the list. The Dress Down made it for Modern Horizons 2.
I think. Yeah,
creatures
Dress
lose all
Down.
abilities. Yeah, exactly. A blue and another. For here, let's please turn on the non-sketch.
Oh, that is it. So you play the card, and then in response to playing it, you flash.
Dress
flash
down
and dress down. Christopher Grizzler says, I finally became a Patreon patron. Ooh, yeah, Macho Man. Thank you for that.
There you go, Christopher.
For becoming a patron.
Yeah, thank you for joining the Patreon. Really, that is the quickest way to help us achieve our goal of making this our full-time job. Thank you very much.
You know, that's how out of the loop I am a little bit, is that I didn't even realize how good that interaction was with Dress Down. That's really good.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah, flash it in at their EOT, play Dreadnought on your turn, something like that. Flash it in response. Either way, it's a cheap little
100%.
combo. Cheap little combo. You know, looking at Ramsey's Overdark, some of these legends, Jake, I think we have to talk about some of these legends. Little Demir, Human Assassin here. 4/3.
It's so bad.
Destroy a creature that has an enchantment card played on it.
It is 1,000,000% I don't care. This card is only good because it's scarce. It's got a 4/3 for 6. Awful. Its ability is awful, but there are not a lot of copies of it. If you reprinted this, it would be an uncommon.
For
It
sure.
is. I mean, this probably. Oh yeah, it's a rare. It would be an uncommon. It might even be a common. It's just all around bad.
It's these legends from Legends, though, man. The legends from Legends, like this one here, Livonia, Salone. Another thing, 4/4, 6 mana. It's got first strike for 4/4, Weehoo, and legendary landwalk tacked onto it. But it's one of the legends from Legends, and so forever it holds this like place in the hierarchy of expensive reserve list cards.
Yeah, I mean, Yavimaya Hollow. Let's discuss this one because next to Ramses. This is a card that, in my opinion, 1,000,000% is worth its price. It has the most pesky effect built into a land. This is unlimited protection until they deal with this for getting your dude around destroy spells and, board wipes. It doesn't get around exile, but regenerate on a land is just crazy.
So the only other things we have here is options for lands that regenerate things. Swarmyard regenerates insects, rats, spiders, or squirrels. Spawning Pool creates a 1/1 with regenerate it until end of turn. It's a land. Oh, it doesn't create. It becomes a 1/1 with regenerate until end of turn. That's still a land. And then from Arabian Nights, $400 reserve list. Jake, you can add a colorless mana to your mana pool or regenerate an elephant.
This is another card that it's just so narrow.
Right.
It's so narrow, but there are decks that want that card. And, those early sets, those sets that came out just a year after the game came out, you just can't find those cards. There's just so few of them. We did get a good question here from Pedro. It says, does condition of a reserve list card determine your decision to buy the card? I think it does. If it's heavily played and it's all beat to shit.
It depends on what you're going to use it for. If you're going to throw it in a commander deck, get you a copy, boo-boo. It can be just an absolute trashed copy.
Yes.
But if you can see it and you can tell it's the card, rock and roll in the commander deck. But if you're talking about from the collector angle, which is kind of where we're coming at, just the way we're looking at this very small group of the reserve list cards, these $100 cards that we think could break out based on a commander's printing. Condition 100% matters.
Yeah, I think that, if I'm buying a reserve list card and I'm like, I want the price of this to remain the same or go up, then I'm probably going to go for like a lightly played copy. But there's also a caveat to that is in the past, and the Wheel of Fortune, the heavily played beat to shit Wheel of Fortune in my cube, I remember buying for $80, and that has gone up, and that was from Unlimited. And that Wheel of Fortune, heavily played, it has borders that look like they're alpha. It's gone up to like $500. So it's like that investment has almost 6x'd, and that card was just beat to shit. And that just shows how, if it's a card that's what we should say is if it's a card that's heavily played, if it goes into a popular strategy like Wheels in Commander, and if it's Wheel of Fortune, players need a copy of Wheel of Fortune. So I think that drives the heavily played prices. But if you're buying a copy of, whatever this shit is, what is this gruel thing called?
Livonia Salone. You don't know Livonia Salone?
Yeah, so if you're buying that, I would say make sure you get like a lightly played or near mint copy and don't just get a busted ass version of it, because I think the needle is going to move a lot less on a moderately played or a heavily played. It might just sit. Whereas other people are like, well, if I am buying a Legends card that is unplayable, I at least want it to look good, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yes, Pedro follows up, for example, Storm World is $70 light play on TCG Player. It depends on how bad or good the light play is, honestly. I've seen a lot of reserve lists. Look, reserve lists, really, the cards, it's rare to find them in immaculate condition. And so a lot of times you are
especially
looking...
Legends.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. A lot of times you are looking at pretty much only light play copies available. So in that case, yeah, not financial advice, but that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. If you're looking to spend extra money on the reserve list, which is what we're talking about here. Jake, I can't get past Preacher or everybody's going to yell at me. 3 mana for the 1/1. You can choose not to untap it. Tap it for as long as it remains tapped. Gain control of target creature of an opponent's choice. There's not a lot of theft effects in white.
Yep.
Playable. Tons of text on there. Make sure you can Google Scryfall Oracle text so that you can read this to your friends when you play Preacher, because I'm not even going to attempt to get down there and start that one up. But yeah,
well, it's like a Negan type effect, right? It's like you're playing this into knowing what you're going to get, I think is the best thing to do. Is
exactly.
Like if they play their commander, you play Preacher, you get their commander, you know? I think the card is good. I think it is narrow. White doesn't typically get effects like that. No. So if you do need that type of effect and you want a little bit extra oomph, I mean, the power and toughness leaves some to be desired, but I think for the time, the power level of that card matches its casting cost.
Yeah, absolutely. No Rod says activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated.
Green, baby. Big green. This is an artifact for the big green red player that doesn't rely on artifacts, that relies on just casting rampant growth and cultivate and getting their mana that way.
Right.
But this is a good card, and I do think if you are playing like a competitive stompy deck, whatever that is, then you would want a copy of Null Rod, because you're going to be shutting down all of the players that are relying on mana crypts and soul rings and all that stuff. I'm not saying don't run soul ring as well.
Sure.
But this is going to hurt a lot of players.
It's just straight. I completely agree, Alan. It's just straight up good. I really like this card a lot.
It's just good.
Obviously we know copy artifact is a good one, and as we get down into treachery, I remember talking about this one, I think when it was like a $30 or $40 card, saying that this is the kind of reserve list card that people are always going to want to play in Commander, and it's never going to be reprinted again. So the fact that for 5 mana that you then get to untap 5 lands off of it, and then just straight up grab a creature and just says you control, period. You just grab it.
Yeah.
But we start getting down a little further away from the $100 mark that we were trying to stay at.
You gotta go to humility.
If we can't miss this one. Yeah, that's what I wanted to rotate back up to was humility. I'm pretty sure, Jake, I gave away a copy of this when I left college and moved out to California.
Yeah, when you first left, this card let's go look at the stocks chart, because this is a fun chart to look at on MTG stocks. Is humility, because this is an effect that is so oppressive. Like, it just shuts everything down. I mean, look at that chart. The card did nothing. When we were playing in 2009, what was the card's price? 2009 isn't even on here.
Less than $10.
So yeah, less than $10. It would have been a really good stacks piece. But you could see those adjustments, and then obviously once the reserve list catches up to it, it sees a big jump in price. But being able to play a card that passively makes everything a 1/1, I mean, this is just brutal. And they lose all abilities.
Yeah,
it's just way crazy. It's such an annoying stacks piece. Any effect that changes the fundamentals of the game and makes it to where people are like, all right, well, we need to get on that. Is it a feels good card?
no.
No,
Opposite.
it isn't. It's the opposite. It's a feels bad card, but it is a very competitive card. And if you are in a punishing circle of EDH where everybody's like, are you ready to go into the depths of hell and try to squeeze a game out? Then I think Humility is the card for you. It combos really well with shit like Pestilence, for example. You know, it's like make everything 1/1s and ping it. And it's dead.
Elish Norn, all your creatures are 3/3s and all their creatures are dead.
Now with
Forever.
Elish Norn, I kind of love it because you're killing all their stuff and you're just gonna peck them to death with 3/3s.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, had a little super chat from MTG Gaming Bob for 369. Please look at Volrath's Stronghold. I'm not sure why this one actually didn't pop up on our list. It is part of the reserve list there. I'm not sure what happened with that search. But
yeah, this card is great.
From Stronghold at $108, it's right there at the right mark. You know, putting a creature from your graveyard on top of your library repeatedly, incredibly strong. Incredibly strong.
An Eternal Witness, and I'll sack Eternal Witness to Ashnod's Altar or Phyrexian Altar. We'll cast this thing that I got back next turn. EOT, Volrath Stronghold, get back Eternal Witness.
Exactly.
Get this card back. I mean, yeah.
Or just put it right back on top of your library with the mana it created from one of the sacrifices.
So when you have a set like this that goes all the way back to Stronghold, or we've even talked about Yavimaya, which was Urza's Destiny. That was a first block where we saw foils. This was before Wizards of the Coast had Commander and so many Eternal formats even on their radar.
Right.
So nowadays they build with those ideas in mind. I don't think we'll ever see an effect like what Volrath's Stronghold has ever again printed on a land. I think it's just in Yavimaya Hollow as well, especially powerful effects printed on lands.
Right.
I think that they've kind of moved away from that. They still do effects on lands, but not like regenerate, not go get anything back from your yard repeatedly.
Yeah,
they might do Volrath's Stronghold where you have to do that effect, sacrifice the land, and then get it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're looking at Unholy Grotto specifically does it with zombies. Graveyard of the Battlefield, if Sky Ruin enters the battlefield and you have 7 or more planes, this is probably the way, Jake, that we'll see it in the future is flip cards, having a sorcery on one side that can return stuff, and then the other side is your land. You know, you're looking at Heliod's does it with enchantments, Academy Ruins obviously does it with artifacts. But yeah, I mean, I like this. This is actually, to your point, strong because it's returning a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand on a channel land. So, you know, watch out for the price of these over time.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my speculative buys from that set. I have, I think, 12 copies of Takenuma in different variants. And I think that this kind of illustrates, though, where Volrath's Stronghold, you have a repeatable effect.
Every turn.
This, it costs more and you lose it.
Right, and it's gone. Can't use it as a land.
Yes. That is Wizards R&D saying, some of those old cards are really powerful. Like, I mean, I don't really know how better to illustrate it than Takenuma. That's a good way. That was a good call.
So I think this video's done a good job of sort of illustrating our point of what kind of cards you would want to look for really at any value. We've talked.
What, you don't like that 1/2 first strike from Legends? What does that thing cost? What is it? How much is that thing worth?
This is a type Kobold, so people probably play it in their Prosh for flavor, but yeah, $90 from Legends. Look, I mean, this is what we look for for cards of this price. You know, really any price on the reserve list is what's going to be the strength of it going forward, or what is the potential strength of it if the right thing is printed? Because look, as far as the amount of commanders, I'm pretty sure there's somebody had done the math. I saw on Twitter recently that there's been like more commanders printed in the last year to 2 to 3 than came before it in every previous year of MTG. So, you know, design space is going to have to expand. Designs are going to have to go in different directions for them to be able to continue to print commanders at this rate. And you're going to see some of these reserve list cards, you know, with Yavimaya Hollow, if a card says whenever you regenerate a creature, draw a card, this card doubles that night. And I'm not saying that that's a good design, but that's the kind of thing you would look for on potential future commanders to really send these cards to the moon.
That's a really good point. And I saw someone in chat bring up Replenish. Replenish $120 card just simply says 1 white, 3 other, return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to play. So yeah, the more enchantments we get, the better a card like this becomes. This is a very powerful sorcery effect. So even though Replenish is a little bit higher than where we were on our list, it's still right around that range. And it is still an effect that I would say is very specific and very good. Also, you know, there's shout outs to like Metalworker and Academy Rector as well. A lot of very good cards that just aren't going to be reprinted again, and we have to think, you know, wow, you know, a commander could be printed that just shoots one of these to the moon. Yeah, it's very interesting. And then another thing is, don't sleep on the gold border cards either. Gold border cradle, I remember people talking about, wow, I could have bought that deck that had the 4 gold border cradle in it for $50 and I slept on it, and now those gold border cradles are like $200-300 a piece. Now granted, cradle is a very specific card with an insanely powerful effect, but there are nice gold border cards of some of the cards that we've talked about today, especially like Replenish, like we were just talking about, has a gold border version. There's gold border Grim Monoliths, a lot of stuff that's a fraction of the price that most commander players are fine with, you know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. He's talking about the World Championship decks, chat.
That's right.
Printed, basically when the World Championships were held, they would print the winning 2 decks, I think, top 2 decks, in this special gold border version with the player's signature printed on there as well, so that you could play with the decks that the champions were playing against. I remember having these, you know?
Yeah. And what's cool is it gave players accessibility to just like understand, oh, you know, that's why this deck is doing well. And a lot of these gold border cards just sat. They just sat for a very long time and they didn't do anything. But now they you have players that want to save. They want to have a card that was printed by Wizards of the Coast, but they don't want to go out and break the bank and buy the you know, the real version of the card. So you have some speculation there to keep in mind as well. And I think there are 2 different world championships that have
look at this.
Yeah, different ones. So like you see Force there. Yeah.
Anyway, reserve list.
Yeah, reserve list.
Chat, we got a couple more topics to cover, and then we're going to jump over to playing some draft games. Is there anything else y'all want us to talk about that we're not already planning to talk about tonight? Let us know.
I'm going to top off my water. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, do it. Big shout out to the new patrons, Christopher G and Robert K. Robert K coming back through. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are going to be entered into our giveaway that we're going to run here at the end of the stream. Every month we give back to our Patreon members by giving away 2 random either bundles or precons. It's the winner's choice, going back a couple of sets, whatever they want to get. We'll roll that randomly at the end of our streams, so make sure that if you've been thinking about joining our Patreon, it's a good time to.
And a quick update on the poll from earlier. Thank you so much. We had 472 people vote. Will you be ordering Secret Lair Fortnite? 22% so far have said yes, and 78% have said no.
Brutal.
If you want to vote on that poll, you can, but that gives us a pretty good idea of how, at least here at Jake and Joel, how people feel about it. I'll be right back.
Hey, earlier you asked how long we were streaming. Probably another 2 hours or so. Something like that. What is the name of your subscribers, fans, and why is it not the Jamily? Did you just come up with something new? Did we just become best friends? I like the Jamily. I haven't thought about Jammers. Jam fam. I think Jam fam is what we've gone with a lot. We're still going to be talking about, what do we got? Let's look at the old subjects. Oh, we got two more things, and they're both related to Double Masters. Target prices for the top 2XM22 cards. So we want to look at maybe the 5 to 10 most expensive cards and figure out what price we want to target those at. And then we want to look at the best targets from 2XM22. I'm talking about the cards that will get down into like the $3 to $5 range and will probably come back up. So we're going to do that as two little different segments, and then we'll play some cards. J-Fans sounds like we are a K-pop band. That's not going to work. Jam Fam. Yeah, I like Jam Fam. Yeah, Tom makes a good point. If you are on the fence about the Patreon, joining the league is a real great way to really just get a consistent community that plays a ongoing Commander tournament where you can win prizes. Yeah, John, see, that's what I kind of like. Come on and slam. And welcome to Jam. Joe Edge, are you in chat? That would be funny if we could figure out some royalty-free backing track of Space Jam. I'm going to tell Jake this idea. Jake, we just had a good idea come up in chat. What if we could find some kind of like, for like a channel intro, we get some kind of royalty-free backing track to the theme song of Space Jam, and that's sound of the, you know, come on and jam, and welcome to Jam. I think it, you know, I think that could be like and we do it like a basketball hype up video, and that's the intro to our channel. Very different from our actual vibe. We're pretty low key and we like to keep it safe, but you know, we could be, everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Tell me who needs to be banned. Is it John Reed?
John Reed.
All right, John Reed, thank you so much for your patronage and your ban. All right, John, banned, yeah, Disney, hiding from the channel.
Disney notoriously, Sam is right, Disney notoriously is generous with their rights. So I'm pretty sure that they'd be like, we like these guys.
Yes, everybody say goodbye to John Reed.
Hi, John.
We'll catch you later. Thank you, John, for hanging out. It's been a great run. John definitely been here for lots of streams and been a long supporter of the channel.
Oh, bro, there's nothing wrong with K-pop. I listen to Blackpink. I love listening to Blackpink in the car, bro. There's nothing more hype than Blackpink at the right vibe when you're cruising in the car with the windows down a little bit.
I'm really sorry to say this, but BTS broke up. Annie had to tell me this.
Do you know Blackpink, Jake?
Is that a BTS song? It is, right?
It's not a BTS song. It's another K-pop band. It's a group of girls. Blackpink. Blackpink in your area?
Well, the thing about Blackpink is it doesn't make sense because black will just consume the pink.
Blackpink. Blackpink.
John says happy to go out like this on a high note. John, I appreciate you being a good. All right, we're just gonna mute him now. There we go.
Getting down so real far into our crowd. I'm trying to see if there's at least one Blackpink fan in the chat. So far, survey says no. Oh, maybe Sam.
You know, before we get into this next segment, I want to thank some folks for coming out today. I did a stream earlier over at my local game store, Emerald Knights, and opened a couple boxes of Double Masters Draft and a box of Double Masters Collector. I want to say this about Double Masters Collector. I have not seen any pack where anybody has absolutely taken a complete fat dump on the table.
Whoa!
You will have some people that they're open in the pack. I know it's like some people are paying $60, $70, $80 for one of these packs. The least value I've seen come back is between like $50 to $60. I have not seen a bad collector booster. Now I have seen bad draft boxes, and the reason I say this is because I opened one earlier today. It had a couple good hits, like a Damnation, an Orrery, a Borderless Mana Vault, or not a Borderless Mana Vault, a Borderless Mana Drain. But the rest of the rares, it was just piles of just bulk rares. And if you're not hitting well, paying $15 to $20 for one of these packs, I'm telling you, I think that the draft boxes are going to see an adjustment back down. I have to believe that they will. There are good playable hits in here, but not one draft box have I seen look as good as the box that Gavin opened on Good Morning Magic. Like, that draft box had me salivating for that product, and now the draft boxes look to be a lot more reasonable. Still seeing lots of those borderless hits, but it just doesn't. It seems like you have to get super lucky on one of those.
You memorized that whole script that Wizards sent you to show their collector boosters. That was impressive.
Thank you. No, I would love to rip that product apart, but I saw a 3 mythic pack on Rip and Ship by Moonshot, Lance's new thing that he's kind of transitioned the channel into.
Yeah.
Last night, that was one of my big questions, Joel. I was going, is this product going to actually follow through, and are we going to be able to get more than 2 mythics in a pack? And last night I saw my first 3 mythic collector pack.
Yep.
And that shows me that there are going to be people that are just absolutely crazy lucky.
Rudy had a 3 mythic pack as well, says Isaiah.
Isaiah saying saw a 3 mythic pack with Rudy. So that seems to be like the great white whale. Can we get the 3 mythic pack? And then obviously the greater white whale, which is the 4 mythic pack possible? The 3 mythic pack makes me think that the 4 mythic pack could be a thing. And especially with the verbiage and Double Masters VIP, the first go around, it seems like Wizards of the Coast was like, it's gonna be possible. Well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, leave us alone.
Yeah, exactly. We covered that on the stream maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we were wondering, and we were looking at the breakdown on the Wizards website. Are we actually going to see the potential for 3 or 4 mythic packs?
Yes.
Seems like we are. Seems like we are. Keto, I saw your message. We're going to get to it, but Keto asked, right now, kind of circling back to the reserve list conversation before we dive completely into 2XM. Keto asked if, while the reserve list right now is going down as a result of sort of inflation and just correction overall, do we think it's going to stay down? My gut would be no. It's always going to follow collectible society. So if society is tanking and the world's on its way out, collectibles are all going to go down for good. But if things just click on as they always have clicked on, then the only direction over time for the reserve list is up.
Yeah, the market makers drive the market down so that they can ride it back up. They make money driving it down, betting against businesses, and then once it hits a level, they ride it right back up after they've invested at the lows. The people that jump in and want to ride that wave with the market makers can. Retail barely moves the stock on anything.
Yes.
I believe in my heart of hearts that the stock market and collectibles, they're closely related.
Not financial advice. None of this is financial
not
advice.
Financial advice. Nothing on the channel is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. Fuck, man. But after getting into, the stocks and watching the S&P and just watching how this shit market has been, I'm convinced I got into the stock market at the worst possible time. But it's very interesting to watch what collectibles do. But I think collectibles are safer. I see them to be more recession proof. They see less of a dip. They may dip, they may go sideways, but they don't absolutely shit the bed like these big companies do. The collectibles, there's something more there where you have people that are like, well, I love this. I don't get a freaking share of stock, and I'm like, hey guys, you want to see? I'm gonna play my stock. What do you guys think?
My stock is my commander.
Play a share of GameStop, and I'm gonna swing with AMC, and I'm gonna hold back all my BBIG blockers. You know, it doesn't work like that, because with collectibles, you have something, whether it's shoes or whether it's whatever. A cardboard, Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that shit, no matter what it is, you have something to show. You have something to play with, you know? So I agree with Joel. I say buy the dip.
Not financial advice.
Figure out, look at the chart, see where the card has been, figure out where the trajectory looks like it's going.
Yeah.
And then figure out a price that works for you.
Wait till the next Wednesday when there's a Jam Live. Say, hey, what do y'all think of this card? And we'll break it down the way that we know how to break it down. Looking at any of these individual cards. You look at the history of Wizards' choices, stewarding that card. You look at the possibility of where it even could show back up. You know, I'm thinking there specifically, you know, like cards that say commander in the Oracle text. Cards that say your target commander in the text box. Where can we see these? Only in a commander printing product or a secret layer. You know, we're not going to even see those in a Masters set and maybe a Legends set. But even now, they've proved that the Legends surname doesn't really mean shit to them. And that they'll happily plaster that on anything just to sell boxes.
Yeah, and the thing is you could have gone hard at Commander Legends, and then they did put good stuff in it, like Mana Drain and Mana Vault or whatever. And then Double Masters gets sold down the river. People are like, what did they do with Double Masters?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know, it's all hindsight. You look at what they do, you make it through spoiler season, and you go, is it a good set? Is it not? The only thing that I don't like about Double Masters is we didn't get a rare land slot, a rare land cycle. I would have taken filter lands. I would have taken the speed lands from Scars of Mirrodin.
Into the fucking stratosphere. They couldn't. They already packed it full.
I know, and it does have a lot of really good hits, but I'm telling you, when I'm opening those boxes earlier today, and yeah, I'm hitting Forbidden Orchard sometimes and City of Brass sometimes, but in that rare slot, just having 5 lands to depend on that, you know that they could go in any deck to pull alongside the Fiery Justices and the Bring to Lights and the myriad of just jank rares. I mean, you could look at Double Masters rares right now and sort by price, and it's just the disparity in value. It just like falls off massively.
Oh, yeah,
when you have all these boxes that are being opened, you're going to go, oh my God, you know, so many of these cards are going to hit rock bottom. Just so many of them. And you know what? There's a lot of good downshifts. You have a lot of mythics that were downshifted, Hydroid Krasis, that kind of stuff. You've had a lot of rares that were downshifted. You had a lot of uncommons that got downshifted that became pauper playables. The set is really good for Magic and shakes up a lot of different stuff, which is cool.
For sure. Somebody asked, what does the Legends surname mean? Basically nothing now. Robbie Shirts. Robbie asked, what does the Legends surname mean? For me, I thought that Legend sets were going to be, you know, Master sets were them reprinting cards that were modern, Pioneer, whatever, older formats than Standard. The Master sets was them reprinting cards for those. The Horizon sets was them printing cards directly into them, all brand new, maybe some reprints, but directly into those new sets past Standard. It seems like now the Master sets have come to just mean this is just going to be a reprint set, period. And then I thought Legends was going to be the Commander version of that, where we get a more Commander-specific group of reprints. But they slapped Commander Legends on the Baldur's Gate set, which they should have just called Battle for Baldur's Gate, whatever. I mean, maybe Commander Horizons, maybe Commander Masters, I don't know, pick another word even. But Commander Legends, the very first set, was such a home run, minus foil quality. That's really the only note that you can give Commander Legends 1 is foil quality.
Yeah, foil quality.
But then
foil quality
Commander
makes
Legends
me like
2 is basically non-existent. It's not even a 2. I don't even like to call it CL2. I just call it Baldur's Gate at this point.
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate is a good name for it. The Commander Legends foil quality is so bad that like
It's
I
laughable.
would almost pick the Jeweled Lotus extended art non-foil over the Jeweled Lotus extended art foil. It's like the extended art foil is beautiful in theory, the idea of it. It's like, oh, it's immaculate in its design. Execution it fell over. But the non-foil is amazing. So yeah.
Okay, so I've got a commander deck here, sleeved up. You can kind of see that it's not all perfect card to card, you know? And so I'm going to pull one random card out of here that I think will be illustrative of my point.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if we have got... Sorry, I need to pull out the foil, not the freaking non-foil. Oh,
Everybody,
nope.
thank you so much for hanging out.
Funny, it's a Secret Lair card. It is the Secret Lair Counterflux from the Arcane Secret Lair. But yeah, the Commander Legends foils, I still run them in my deck. I just double sleeve them to try and keep them flat, but...
Yeah. Yeah. It's, oh God, what were we talking about? I just forgot.
Foil quality led from the prices of the Double Masters 2. We were talking about the Legends,
Oh,
so
yeah.
really how Commander Legends didn't really have a bad note against it except for foil quality, and then they didn't reuse the Legends name in a way that signified that's going to be an ongoing series name, which was kind of disappointing for me.
Oh, BC Infected says Jeweled Lotus Masterpiece when? Oh, I know, right? That'd be beautiful. One day. I was saying this about the textured foil. I just can't wait until we see that happen with cards that are absolute staples like Mana Crypt and Soul Ring and that kind of thing, where it's like Soul Ring appears as some sort of weird textured alternate art card, and yeah, players are just going to go crazy for that stuff.
All right, let's look at some of the top priced cards in this set and see if we can figure out what price we would target them at once this set has been open. Hang on, let me swap over. Okay, so we've been talking in the Discord recently. Double Masters 2022 prices. Pre-order prices right now are just ridiculous. Kind of avoiding looking at the prices right now. Typically with a set, you want to wait until that like 4 to 5 week mark, see where the prices are, and then pick your targets and start firing away at singles to get them at their probably bottom while people are selling stuff to move on. With this set, it may take a little bit longer, especially because we have a little bit of a window before the next product completely dominates the news cycle. And so this one will have a little bit of time to settle out. But a card like Base Copy, which is all we're talking about, because we're talking about lowest prices to acquire these. So we're talking about playable versions, obviously. We're not talking about the big collectible pieces like textured foils and stuff. But Imperial Seal, Jake, what do you hope? What do you think you're going to end up targeting Imperial Seal at?
You know, when Mana Crypt came out during Eternal Masters, it was God. Can we look at that
Absolutely,
chart?
yeah. Let's pull up MTG stocks.
Really quick.
This is the exact kind of thing that we do when we're trying to figure out these prices, y'all, to make videos like this, is we try to figure out the closest comparisons for where that card was scarcity wise, where it is now, where we think it'll get to, and then what will it do afterwards based on it being a high play card. So this is the Double Masters one of Mana Crypt.
Oh yeah, let's go Eternal.
You want to go to Eternal? Yeah, let's look at the Eternal Masters.
That'll
printing.
give us a longer chart.
Yep, exactly. Here, I'm going to back it up just a little bit so we're not completely under the chat. There we go. So yeah, I mean, when this came out, previewing at 124, we got down into the 60s, 50s for Mana Crypt, and now we've been up
the
there,
time to buy.
Then a reprint happened, and then we start creeping back up, especially now. I bet this sees a little bit of a jump, just a tiny one, specifically though because it was not reprinted. But you think that Mana Crypt from Eternal Masters is a good comp for Imperial Seal?
You know, I'm just trying to think. When Eternal Masters came out, this was definitely one of the chase cards. I think that Imperial Seal is inflated. I think that this card is more
100%.
playable. This card is more playable than Imperial Seal. I think that Imperial Seal is absolutely inflated still. And I feel like Imperial Seal should see a significant price reduction. I think that it's still rare. It's still scarce. I think that you have players that are satiating the need of the card. They're finally getting it. You're going to have some people that want more than one, but you're going to have a lot of people that just want one.
Grab a copy and move on. That's the good, that's the group that I'm in.
Yes, and I think that stores are buying them out. Yeah, G-Rat, I agree with you. $40. I feel like it is like a $50 or $60 card. It's a fine card, but it's sorcery speed. It puts the card on top. You lose 2 life. It's really good. It's a 1-cost tutor.
Got 40 listings as low as 148.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me, like, that Imperial Seal right now is a $200 card. Like, maybe the other versions of it, there's a case for why they could be.
Yeah, so you can buy one right now. 148. We're still in pre-sale prices here. Obviously, some people have their hand on product. They are, you know, confirmed in hand or whatever. But I really don't think that this is going to be the round to buy Imperial Seal. I think the round to buy Imperial Seal is going to be the next reprint, which will probably happen within the next 2 years. And I also think that this is now a Secret Lair candidate, especially if these base versions can get down into that 50-60 range like you're talking about. That becomes the driver of its own entire Secret Lair price.
And I don't know if it will get that low. I don't think 30 to 40.
That's a lot. That is a very low drop.
That is a very big. But when we're looking here at Scryfall, and then even when we go over to TCG, we can see Scryfall's price is way off, like massively off.
Yeah, I don't know how often they update those TCG player market prices over on Scryfall. But I mean, look, as recently as 3 or 4 days ago, market data had it around the 300 mark. It hasn't been now until people have really been opening a crap ton of this that they're seeing the prices fall because they still want to move them.
Yeah, so this is a meaningful reprint. We have Imperial Seal base copy.
Yeah.
We have Imperial Seal foil. We have Imperial Seal borderless. We have Imperial Seal foil borderless.
Right.
We have Imperial Seal etched. Those are 5 different Imperial Seal versions that all came out of this one product. So since P3K, since the Judge printing, this is a very meaningful reprint. We're getting 5 different types of Imperial Seals that are going to be appearing in different slots across 2 different products. You're going to have etched ones that only appear in the collector boosters. That might be a candidate for the one that does the best, right? Is maybe the etched one that only appears in a collector booster.
Right.
That seems like a good candidate. The other ones, the foil borderless, it can appear in draft boxes. It can appear in collector boxes. So just something to think about.
Yeah, for sure. That's our kind of rundown on Imperial Seal. Jake, I guess let's talk about Mana Vault and Dockside. We can cover Ren and 6 if you want to, but I feel like being more commander minded on the channel. Dockside. This one came out of a $30 commander precon. Yes, it is mythic. But Jake, to your point, we are getting base copy foil, borderless foil, and etched. 5 different versions of a scarce printing, highly desired rare. You know, I would hope
and it's
that
a
this
rare
card,
that
it's a rare that what?
It's a rare that gets upshifted to mythic. It was a rare that was a $70 rare because it only had 1 printing. Now they've upshifted it to mythic. I think that makes the price, kind of stay where it is in a lot of ways. I like that we've seen an adjustment down to the $50 range already.
I think that this card is going to get down to $20. I think when Dockside Extortionists base copy non-foils get down to $20, I'm going to pick up probably 2 of them so that I can have a second copy of Dockside, because I have mine from 2019. I'll have a second copy of Dockside, and I will have one that I'll be able to sell 2 years later to pay for both. And so I'll net a free Dockside. It's kind of how I'm going to approach this. Do you think that this gets down to 20, or do you think I'm smoking the Mary J?
You know, there's part of me that's like, if it had been rare, maybe it could see 20. But I hate that they reprinted it at Mythic, which means that there's going to be less of them appearing.
Right.
This would have been an amazing card to just say, here you go, Magic community. You got Dockside at rare. That would have been an amazing rare to root for in these packs. But it does kind of confirm that they're like, oh, it looks like that was a Mythic effect that we ended up putting on that card.
Yeah.
And not a rare effect.
Well, and look at Kevin Jerry's point, and this is kind of, I guess, where I'm coming from, is that price memory on this card is going to be strong. And so people are going to say, oh, that came out of a $30 deck. I just don't think that outside of the initial hype wave, I'm talking 5-6 weeks down the line, I don't think players are going to be wanting to spend $30 to pick up a Dockside. I think you're going to want to pay less. Maybe 25. Maybe $25 is where I'm thinking this lands. That's less than the price of the pre-con deck it came out of. And we're talking base copies. And that, I mean, 25 sets a great floor for them to look at all of these other printings of it and really price these up, you know, from 25 all the way up to getting like a foil version of this where, you know, we're talking in the hundreds.
Yeah, I have to imagine a lot of this product is going to be opened. It's just a matter of our stores going to immediately skip that $10 and $15 range for their draft packs and go right to 20.
Yeah.
25. Because if they do, I'm telling you, the first person who opens a $20 pack that has a Fiery Justice and you know, whatever other jank rare was printed in this set,
yeah,
they're going to be like, okay, that was good for me. Those draft packs are unforgivable. And if you are selling them for $20, it's not for me. I saw some bad packs, and I do think that if you are getting a draft pack, it's better to just spend the money, get yourself the box, make sure you have a good spread. But, you know, maybe you get lucky with a snipe. I don't know. I'm already seeing the FOMO. I'm already seeing people that are overpricing the product. And I mean, why don't we look at the list of rares that are just bad? We should do that. We should just be like, here's the double master stuff that is just a list of rares that is, or we could do that after we finish this if you want to.
Yeah. Let's finish out this little point. We can pull that up.
Yeah.
Post show. So like around 80 to 100, maybe hoping for base copies of Imperial Seal, maybe a little bit below that. Maybe we're in the like $25 to $35 range for Dockside. That's kind of where we fell out. You know, you have a little less hope that it goes down into the 20s, but 30s, that seems good. Yeah, because
I don't want to pay 40. I don't want to pay 50 for that card.
No, of course not. Of course not.
I could maybe jump in at 20, and the price memory thing makes sense.
Looking at copies of Mana Vault. Now, for Mana Vault, we've got quite a few versions of this, going all the way back to Ultimate Masters, going all the way back to the conception of MTG. We have got versions on versions of this. So it's already, we're pre-ordering this Mythic at $55 for a base copy of Mana Vault. Jake, where do you think players, if they want to pick up this mana rock, where would you be aiming?
If they want to pick up this mana rock, they should be just buying the white border one because it's still cheaper than this.
Right.
This is players having an opportunity again to get the Ultimate Masters Mana Vault art on a modern border, a black border card for their decks. If you don't care about that, you could go get a cheaper copy of it. Go get yourself a played like 5th edition or 4th edition that's got the white border. It looks like absolute shit, but it does everything that you need a Mana Vault to do. And that's my thoughts on that. As far as this copy goes, this is your chance to get the black border one. If you like this art, if this one speaks to you, if you want a chance to get that cool borderless version, then you know, this is the product for you. But if you're looking for a base copy Mana Vault Black Border, just look out. I feel like it might get down to like 35, maybe 40.
30s,
but I think it'll bounce.
30s is what I was probably looking at, trying to pick up a base
that Mana
copy of
Vault
this.
Borderless is sexy, dude.
Oh, this is
like
gorgeous. But for here, we're talking more in the hundreds. These borderless ones, especially the highly prized mythics, I think are going to be hundreds and higher. You know, you're going to want to target base copies if you're looking for that $20 to $80 version of whatever card you're looking at. Food Chain is an interesting one to me, Jake, because I think this is going to bring in a whole new slew of competitive players. And this is one of the mythics that doesn't have any sort of other special treatment. We just got foil etched and regular and foil. Already down to $35 for this base copy. This is one where I'd love to pick up my very first copy of Food Chain ever for like $20.
If you look at the list version, you could see the OG art, and that's what players have the most accessibility to right now. This art is fine. I kind of like the new art. The new art is brutal.
Yeah.
It looks crazy. And it's a very powerful card. It does a lot of stuff. Zach has a good point here, and I want to address this because we were talking about this for a second. And I agree. I think the pack price is going to keep the hits higher than you think. If there's a lot of bad hits, the good hits have to make up for it until it levels out to about 250 EV per box. We'll see if it gets there. I do think that this product would work a lot better if the packs were easily accessible in the $15 range. When I'm seeing the game stores already valuing boxes around like $480, getting to that like $20-$25 range, it's just, I think it will end up turning people off to wanting to go on that pack experience again. I think if you're pricing around 15, you're going to have people that want to come back, open another pack.
Yeah.
But once you're getting to 20, 25 for a pack, for a set that's brand new, you had boxes, because people do remember this. People remember boxes that were selling for 250, 300. So if you're already, the set has just come out, you're already valuing the boxes at like 450 to 500. 100%, Zach. People are going to be, they'll be turned off to it. I'm just saying how I would feel about it. I think the set needs time. We kind of need to see what it does and how the market really reacts, because we've seen some boxes that have been online that have been opened up that are just absolutely gas. But now that all the cards are in hand and we're starting to see prices adjust, I think some of the box prices will come back down. That's just what my gut is telling me.
Chad, I want to cover Force of Negation, Cavern of Souls, Mana Drain, and Phyrexian before we wrap this up. If there's another card y'all want us to look at, let us know in chat, one that's particularly of interest for you. We are looking mostly at commander cards here, but we're happy to discuss any card that y'all, especially who are here, really want to look at. Jake, next I want to look at the rare Force of Negation that has snuck into our group here. Obviously, this is the price. We're sorting high to low. This Force of Negation is our expensive version because it's our borderless. But we also know we're going to get a base version copy of Force of Negation. Currently pre-selling around $41. I bet if we go over here and look at Force of Negation from our newest set especially, we're going to see... Nope. Yep. No.
Possibly a cheaper price.
Yeah, just a little bit lower. We're at the top of the 40 mark right now, looking to break through into the 30s. Do you think that we're going to be able to pick up a copy of Force Negation for like $20? That's what, again, this is another one where I'm like, man, I really hope this gets down to like 2025 so I can just grab my base copy and move on.
Yeah, this is on the short list of really good rares that are in the set.
Right.
Yeah, it's alongside stuff like Phyrexian Altar that thankfully was printed at Rare, Damnation, that kind of stuff. This is a really good hit, and I would love for this card to go sub 30. I think that it could get there. Being on the rare list, being a card that, I mean, it's mostly a commander card. It does have some really good modern playability, but it's a card that
looks like legacy, vintage, and modern all like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're exactly right. Free spells are good. Looking at the Modern Horizons version, I mean, this one premiered pretty low. Mid 20s is where this lived. We're looking at bouncing between 20 and 30 for a long time. But then when it crept up and crossed that 50K mark and people started seeing, oh, this is in Is It Delver and Legacy, you know, this is in Doomsday and Vintage, because you only another 0 counter spell in a deck like that doesn't matter because you're trying to end the game that turn that you're popping, and you just want to freely protect whatever you're trying to do. You know, all-time low of $20.68. My hope is it gets down there again with this reprint. Like Jake said, at rare, this is going to pop up a lot more. Everybody who's drafting has the, you know, this is just going to pop up everywhere. And so this is one in particular.
Rare is good.
Yes.
I would say expect rare cards. And this, we'll throw it back to Ultimate Masters, but I remember when Ultimate Masters came out, I waited 3 or 4 weeks for the set to come out, and I was like, I had price alerts set for cards, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in here, or not price alerts, but I had notifications set for specific cards on eBay. So if a new Phyrexian Altar got listed, I went and looked at it. And I remember getting my foil altar for $25, and that was just me being like, fervently, I'm talking about like after the set came out, I would be like, foil Phyrexian Altar newly listed.
Yeah.
Anything good.
Right.
And then finally found a $25 one and was like, we're pulling the trigger.
Well, if we're talking about Phyrexian Altar, let's look at Phyrexian Altar as well. Right now, pre-ordering for $45 base copies.
It's already seeing the same kind of dip that happened when it was printed in Ultimate Masters. It's starting to see a dramatic dip down. So people that were seeing this set debut, they were going, oh my god, Phyrexian Altar's in the set, it's $100 card. Yes, it was a $100 card. But now that's where you're going to see a big adjustment in the EV of these boxes, because you know, most people, they need one copy of Altar. If a box has 2, if a box has 3, they might sell another copy, they might keep the cool one, secondary market absorbs the other one. Rinse, repeat. Yeah,
you're looking at all-time lows on Altar from Ultimate Masters, down in the $16 range. And now that Commander's exploded in popularity, we're peaking at 100 before we, you know, find out that we've got a reprint that's going to give us 5 versions of Phyrexian Altar. Base copies of this are going down.
Yeah, and me shopping at the time during Ultimate Masters, you were looking at those $16 non-foil copies. So then those foils were like $10 more. I was like, yeah, I'll take the foil version. And then that card topped out at $150. I didn't sell, but I still have that Ultimate Masters version. It's probably worth like $100 or something like that. But yeah, these are the kind of things you need to keep in mind. If you're the kind of person who just wants to grow a collection, then 1,000,000% don't have sentimental value tied to your cards. Just buy the rip. Or buy the dip, excuse me, sell the rip. Whenever the card goes to the top, sell.
Yeah.
And then be like, all right, now I'm going to go buy that Altar for a third of the price that I sold it for. That is how you build a collection. Then you ride that Altar back up while you're riding other cards back up. Financial advice. And then eventually you are able to just get bigger, better hits.
It really does help to keep your decks, your notebooks in an app so that you can check that app periodically and go, wow, why is that ripping? Jake, I had a request in chat to talk about Cavern of Souls. We just released a full breakdown of Cavern of Souls and how it acts over time and how many times it's been reprinted but still holds this price. As you can see, originally a rare, been reprinted at Mythic almost every other time except for the list. And the list, what is rarity to the list? This card consistently holds between a $60 and $80 price, consistently, regardless of reprints. We are going to get 5 versions of it: base foil, borderless foil, and etched foil. So you're going to have a little bit of a price spread there. I think this is going to be one of the best times in history to pick up a base copy of Cavern of Souls if you want one, because I bet this price that's right now, $62, I have no doubt in my mind that this, even though it is a mythic, we're going to see this card go down before it comes back up. I mean, yeah, look at this. $52 light play foil. We're already a $10 mark under where the last time Scryfall checked. You know, I'm seeing near mint copies for 55 here. So yeah, we have a whole video on Cavern of Souls, but that is a card that I wanted to talk about tonight. And then Mana Drain.
Well, the reason it sits there, I'll just say this, is because when you upshift it to Mythic, you're essentially price fixing. You're making sure that it stays scarce. So you have a card that was originally printed at Rare in Avacyn Restored. It's a really good card. People are like, holy shit, this card is good.
Especially for Commander. You can just make your Commander uncounterable, period, if you just want to run it for a single effect.
And that means a lot to pretty much everybody in Commander. Like, most people don't want their Commander getting countered. So if it's not going to hurt your mana too much, then run Cavern of Souls. It's good to have in the 99. But what they did was they saw, okay, we have this rare land that's getting played as a 4 of. It's also got desirability in Commander. The price is creeping up. And then they're like, okay, a card that we printed at Rare is now entering into the stratosphere as far as price goes. Let's just make it a mythic moving forward. And then that's why this price sits where it is.
Yep.
If Cavern was getting printed at Rare, which it should be, you know, it's a card that it doesn't win the game by itself. It doesn't really have like a mythic type effect.
Them printing in a mythic is by design.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It could have very easily been printed at Rare again and again over the years and been a $15, $20 card.
Easy.
But instead, they upshifted it, and now this is where we live.
Lastly, I want to talk about Mana Drain.
Okay.
Lastly, I want to talk about Mana Drain. You know,
give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. We'll come back in a second. Later, Garixis. We'll be back around probably when you're back, or we'll still be around probably when you're back. We're gonna play. We're gonna finish up this little segment and then kick it over to some Double Masters drafts. Don't forget, we are gonna do that Patreon giveaway. Seen 2 people sign up for our Patreon tonight here while we've been hanging, so really appreciate that. Lots of perks over on Patreon. Doing a little giveaway of some bundles and some Commander precons tonight. So if you want to get in on that, even just the one time, any level will get you into that. How long do we stream for usually? I would say 3 or 4 hours is sort of our average stream. We really don't stream for less than that, especially if it's like a foil quest. Occasionally I will stream for less than that. I play in our Commander League fairly frequently. I haven't over the last 2 months just because of personal stuff, but playing in the Commander League, I like to stream the game over Spell Table. And if that game takes 45 minutes, that's how long the stream is. I'm not going to sit there and, you know, that's kind of a just get on and play that game sort of thing. It's not meant to be a full-on like this produced and forward thought content. It's just playing that game and get off. So those streams can be kind of short versus like a foil quest stream that, I mean, cracking 4 hours on a foil quest stream is like beginner mode. So I'd say typically we stream for like average 3 hours and very occasionally less than 2, or I mean very rarely less than 2, but occasionally a little more than that.
Everybody, if you are enjoying the stream, click like and subscribe. If you are going to be buying any MTG product, use our TCG affiliate link and it directly helps the channel.
TCG player link is down in the chat. Yeah, I mean down in the description. Check that out.
That's right. We have 287 people watching. We are going to draft some Double Masters 2022. We're at least going to finish up our games. We currently have 1 win, but we have 282 people watching. I'd love to get to 269 likes. Can we do it? Can we do it? My dog has the worst problem with laying next to my chair, and then her hair gets stuck in the chair wheel.
Yeah, my dog does that too. Double Masters Foil Quest is going to be next week, probably next Thursday, depending on when those boxes come in, because we've got like 10 boxes plus a couple extra boxes that are personal ones, and even a draft box, I think. And depending on how some stuff works out, we might have some packs available. But yeah, I would say it's going to be probably next Thursday, maybe potentially next Saturday. I would say would be kind of the alternate day that could be. I think we're going to aim for it to be next week.
Yes.
Foil Quest is our opening series. Jake early on started a series called Foil Quest Amano Liliana, where he searches out foil versions of the Amano art special edition Japanese War of the Spark Liliana the Dreadhorde General. And we've just sort of adopted Foil Quest to be the general name of our opening series because we like to do it a little bit differently, where we take our time and we really lean into like community memes and stuff like that. And so that is what Foil Quest is. It's our take on an opening series where, you know, a lot of top openers in the MTG space on YouTube, they kind of fly through the cards, show you the rare and move on. And it's a lot of times pre-recorded content where you don't know if that was the box, or he hit like a really dope box and put that aside and opened a different box for you. For us, we like to do it live and we like to do it slowly. And so it's kind of like a tantric opening, right?
It is. When you're opening a $300 box of cards, you really do want to take your time with it and enjoy that experience. And the fact that we get to do that here live with the community really is special. So if you are interested in watching live openings, definitely subscribe. We're going to have many more to come in the future. We have at least 10 collector booster boxes of Double Masters to open. We have 2 draft boxes to open.
It's going to be a sick night. It's going to be a long, dope night of cards. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good time. And yeah, moving forward, we're going to try to figure out a way to like consistently keep Foil Quest going for different products, new products, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And thank you so much to everybody in the community. There's a lot of people here who make Foil Quest what it is and make these streams that we're doing right now what they are. So thank you so much for coming out. I mean, the fact that we can get a stream going and have 200 people watching like we do now, it really does mean a lot, and it's really cool.
Let's finish this segment and then we can swap over to the game and just kind of talk shit that whole time.
Yeah.
Lastly, I want to look at Mana Drain. This is another major reprint here. Less major this time. When it popped up in Iconic, when it popped up in Commander Legends, you know, that was really super hype. This time, it's
smashed
like
the price. The Commander Legends smashed this card's price down.
Right? Well, look at this. In TCG Player now, I'm kind of baffled. I can go over here and look at Mana Drain for $34. You can go get you a price for $30, man. You know, even our borderless version, which is what we're looking at here, says 71 on this market. It hasn't really updated because you got as low as $59.95 here. You can go get a borderless. And again, these are all of the like pre-order prices. We are not saying go get these at this price. We're saying that this is where it is now. What do we think it's going to get down to?
Yeah, I mean, the art is beautiful. I think the art is popping on the new one. Thank you for giving us a borderless version of Mana Drain with a new art on it.
Seriously.
I think that was really sweet. Also, the card, you can see what a meaningful reprint like Commander Legends does to this card. It seriously smashed the price. I mean, look at what the price of the card did. And then
so this is Commander Legends right here, November 2020.
Yeah, look at that.
Up above 150 for your Iconic Masters, which was our most meaningful reprint to that point, and then just like crash down to the $50. And that's the Iconic Masters at Commander Legends time. Now we're looking at a third reprint.
That is what they didn't want to happen with Imperial Seal. That's why they probably didn't put Mana Drain back in Commander Legends to show up regularly in the set boosters,
right,
in the draft boosters, whatever. Yeah, it really shows you like how certain cards have to only be printed into Masters type sets.
Right. Look at this, chat. You're pre-ordering for $95 out of the gate with this card. And then over the month, we're into December here. We're down in the high 50s, low 60s. Over the next 6 months, we get into June. We're into the low 50s, mid to low 40s. So, I mean, do you think Mana Drain printed at Mythic is a good comp for Mana Drain printed at Mythic? Probably so. I would probably say yes. Look at how far this one fell. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be completely the same price,
yeah.
but 90 down to 50, $40 drop. Obviously, this one's not going to drop $40 for this base copy because that's pretty much where we're at now at 35. But look at a percentage fall out of this. Look for this one to actually be the most realistic. Joel thinks it's going to go to $20 card.
I'm already looking here and I'm seeing mana drains sitting at 37. So I think it could maybe dip its toes into the high 20s briefly, depending on how much of this product is opened. But I think the main thing that happened to Mana Drain was it was printed in Commander Legends, which was a set that just had so much product.
Right.
And a lot of those draft boosters were like $100. And Mana Drain showing up in reasonably priced boosters is going to affect the price. Whereas in this product, it may not move the needle so much. It might move it down a little bit, but the card is never going to get like sub 20 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ever.
No. Yeah, I could see that. That is our little breakdown on some of the very top hits in Double Masters 22 and what we think they might get down to. We have a couple more versions of this topic because this set was so full of good, meaningful reprints of highly playable, desirable cards. We will probably cover this topic from a couple of different angles in the future. But for this one, you know, looking at the mythics, what did we think some of these excellent mythics and most expensive rares were going to land at? Let us know down in the comments if you think we're far off or where you think some of these top hits are going to get to.
Yeah, I think Emrakul didn't even need to be in the set. Like, Emrakul is a fine card, but you know, I don't think it needed to be part of
any
Double
other
Masters
Eldrazi.
2022.
Maybe don't print banned commander cards, please. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Is any other Eldrazi would have been cool. It that betrays, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on,
Yeah.
I gotta look at my cart here. I gotta just make sure I'm not gonna dox myself when I. Oh no!
While
I'm
you
not.
do that, I'm going to use the restroom
Here
really
we go.
quick, and then
Somebody
I'll
just
be ready to do
somebody
this.
was very wildly interested in what I had in my cart right now. I was looking for some upgrades for my Prosh deck, and so I was going to pick up an extended art Devilish Valet, foil, near mint foil Goblin Bombardment, which has gotten down under $5 now. The impact tremors from the Secret Lair. I really didn't want this set. This was the D&D Saturday morning cartoon set, but I do like this impact tremors. So I was going to pick that up because that's a really good card for Prosh. Riveteer's Overlook is just, I don't know if anybody saw these. I want to test these out in Commander. When the ETB, you sacrifice it and you look for a basic in your colors. So if you have at least one basic, it's sort of like a, you know, searchable. It's another version of that Fabled Passage. That's what I'm talking about. And I kind of like that. I want to test them out, see how I like them in Commander. I was going to pick that up. And then a near mint foil of Witty Roastmaster. This kind of automatically became a Prosh card when it was printed. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it deals a damage to each opponent. It's like a little baby Perforos.
Baby Perforos,
right?
yeah.
And at common, it's easy to pick up a foil for your Prosh deck and throw it in there. Yeah, I mean, nothing super exciting. You can see here, Hammers of Morden, 10th District Legionnaire, and Martial Glory. These were all preview cards of ours, and so I was going to pick up like 10 foil copies of each just to kind of have. That's what's in my cart. Leave me alone. It's just $30 worth of like nothing that's super exciting. Just like good pickups for Prosh because I was upgrading that deck recently. Yeah, and I just wanted some foil copies of our preview cards. Oh, chat. Pretty good show tonight. I had fun with those topics. I hope y'all did. So we are going to cool down with some MTGO. We drafted a deck on Sunday that we only played one round with. We're going to play the next 2 rounds of those. Looks like I got some dogs visiting me. Can y'all see pups coming in the background?
Ooh, updating some Mitgo, huh?
Yeah, a little update of Mitgo. It's all good, though. I got my computer hardwired into our home network today. Finally got all that figured out, and so no more Wi-Fi for us. Jake, if you would entertain the folks real fast, I'm gonna take a 2-minute AFK while this is downloading.
How's everybody doing? We are going into a mid-go draft that we are halfway through currently. And we're not halfway through, but we've won our first game, so we have 2 more games. Hoping that we can at least pull out 2 wins. Aaron Sullivan, what's going on? Trevor Peters, D Hammer, Trips Ahoy, G Rat, John Reed, Kiru 988, Wizards Brews. Oh, what's up, Wizards Brews? Keto Investor, nice to see ya. Tyler says, guys, I just got duped out of buying a single collector's pack instead of boosters box on eBay. I understand the difference now and I'll be able to return it, but it sucks. Be careful on there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Steve P says, good show. Thanks, Steve. Browser history and homework folder. Now shows your search history, baby. Flashing creatures before damage is assigned. Kalia's been through an interesting journey. Was a bit underpowered for a while as white has gotten better now. Mardu isn't really missing anything as bad as 10 years ago. Yeah, Mardu has gone through a serious facelift. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. We are going to figure this out. Everything looks lackluster after Double Masters 2022, right? MTG Gaming Bob says, I'd love to hear your predictions for Dominaria United. You know, I would love to give you predictions, but I don't have any for you right now. I have none for you right now, and I wish that I did. We'll have to look more closely at that product before I start talking about it. I would, in Dominaria United, expect to see uncommon legends. That would be my biggest prediction, is a return to uncommon legendary creatures. That would be if I had to guess. Give me just a second. Lance, are you getting excited for some openings tomorrow? I know that you're doing a stream. We have no foil quests tomorrow. We are going to be opening a bunch of Double Master stuff. Jank, a lot of boxes are going to be coming to me. Some boxes are going to be going to Joel. So I think I'm pretty sure, or he may have ordered them to my place, but we are absolutely going to be doing them together. Joel will be on that stream, whether he's opening or I am. So, Lance, do they just send you cards to open? You don't know what's going to be in your shipment? I think they'll push Dominaria hard. This will be the first 2-set block in a while, and historically those have not been hits. Yeah, question about Dominaria would be, keep in mind that set will be designed for standard. And yeah, from that perspective, it will definitely be throttled back a little bit, if I had to guess. Fly to each other's crib. Yep. Vow and Hunt were kind of a 2-set block. Yeah, that's true. It felt that way. Definitely going to see a crazy Teferi. This is the first time in a while I have had no unopened Japanese War of the Spark in my apartment. I have none. completely out of Japanese War of the Spark. I'm going to have to reach out about getting a case. Does anyone know why the textured Liliana I pulled in Baldur's Gate is fully textured yet? Oh, Wizard's Brews. That's right. You do need to go look over on Instagram and look at this. I thought I recognized your name. Fully textured, yet the 2x2 is only textured in the background. Oh, Wizard's Brews. You should definitely figure that out. That seems interesting. Can we get a reprint of Mana Crypt and Brothers War? That would be sweet. I think Mana Crypt 1,000,000% needs a reprint like every year. Mana Crypt is stupid. It always bounces back. People want that fast mana. They need it. Food Time says, what up? What up, food? We did talk about Fortnite earlier. I think it was the first thing that we talked about on this stream. D Hammer, does Teferi bring Zalfir back from his phase out just in time for the Phyrexians to show up and wreck the place? Mabes. I think Joel is back. I'm seeing some stuff move around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just listening. I just started rereading the novel Brothers War from back in the day when the set first came out. And so I'm hoping to have that done by that set coming out, so I'll know a little bit about the lore and can speak to any of the deeper cuts.
Nice. Very nice.
The first
Justin
scene was
says,
like
LOL,
Tawnos
Fortnite
and...
Secret Lair.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Justin says Fortnite Secret Lair, cringe. Well, they did put Grim Tutor and Wrath of God in it, which is kind of cool. Wizards Brew says, Jake, what were you saying about Instagram? I thought you had a post on Instagram where you opened the textured Liliana. Thank you for reminding me. I get distracted by chat. I get distracted by by Joel. I get distracted by myself. I
Food
generally get distracted.
Food Time, did you see the cards included? I wish that some of the picks had been a little more flavorful personally.
Food Time says MTG is as cringe as Fortnite. Embrace the cringe. There we go. The game
Fair.
is still good. It's still good.
All right, let's swap over.
What does it feel like to be phased out? I don't know, but that did remind me, Joel. Annie and I finished Severance. Great show.
Severance was fun, right?
They will always set it up at the end of every episode to where you're like, well, we have to do one more.
Right.
What the fuck?
The next one will definitely be where all the answers are. It was like watching Lost season 2 and 3. You're just like,
I said that to Annie so much. It feels like Lost.
Yeah,
it's so
dude.
good, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Well, especially because they would be like, behind that secret door is another secret. Don't worry about that secret. We still don't know what the first 4 secrets are.
Yeah, it's like, how do we make a show move at a snail's pace, but make the audience feel like they're getting somewhere?
Yeah, dude.
So they don't want to quit.
Yo, how about John Turturro's entire character and arc?
I love him.
God, he was so good, man. So
Hello.
lovable
Hello.
and so on point.
He's a beautiful character, beautifully
Seriously.
written character. Great.
All right, here's the deck as we drafted it. This is actually as we edited it at the end of the last session based on what we wanted the deck to do. We have a little bit.
Cabal in
Yes.
to the main. That was a
Correct.
big addition.
It's a very control-y sort of build that wins in the air and through some removal and hostage taker. It's a big time. Relief Captain is one of our big finishes here, as funny as that sounds, because we can get a +1/+1 counter on Liev Sky Knight at ×2, or we can get a +1/+1 counter on each of our Call to the Feast tokens, which is kind of our wombo combo in this deck, is
Yes.
slow them down to get to Call of the Feast. Next turn, Relief Captain on top of that. You got 6 damage that lifelinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Past that, it's a lot of stall. Wall of Omens, Doom Traveler, Capture Sphere. Mentor's in here because it pretty much procs all of our Call to the Feast, Abzan Falconers, Walls of Omens, Miss Meadow, Comball, Doom Traveler, everything but Liev Sky Knight and Relief Captain proc off of it.
Right. Yeah, I really like where this deck is. It was definitely a little bit unfocused when we were building it.
It's a wonky build, but for some reason we found this like rhythm with it that works.
Yeah, we have very little removal with the 2 Casminas and the capture sphere, but we do have a board wipe, which I kind of have to go back and be like, Supreme Verdict totally forced us into white blue.
When it was needed very hard
not
to get away. I mean, it was like pack 1. We shouldn't have worried so much about it, but it's still really good, you know, and it's great to go Supreme Verdict, Call to the Feast, Relief Captain over 3 subsequent turns.
Yeah, definitely. I think before we queue up, I need to just, or actually you're going to go through the first couple turns. I'm just going to get myself a beer, and then I think we need to get into this.
You got to help me player pass. Go grab you a beer. Let's go.
Yeah, the other thing that we should mention is we're currently up a win. So if we get another win, we get our points back, which will break even so that we can draft again and enjoy this experience again. And then if we win the next 2, we're going to get a treasure chest. We're going to get some extra points. So clearly that is the goal. Let's run this thing and see how we do.
Thanks to our 3 new patrons again tonight, Christopher G, Robert K, and Christian S. Really appreciate y'all if y'all are still hanging out. We are going to do our Patreon giveaway live at the end of the stream tonight. Number 1, help me remember that. Please don't let me forget that. And number 2, if you want to get included into that giveaway, what we do is we give back to our community every month. We do a random bundle or pre-con going back a year to 2 random patrons, and they can pick whatever they want. That's in addition to our prize support for our Commander League, which is another perk of joining the Patreon. You gain access to our Commander League, where you can play Commander for prizes from the comfort of your home. All you have to do is be a patron at any level. Gaming Bob says, you didn't cast Supreme Verdict on Sunday. It was just 2 matches, right? Because we won both. We 2-0'd that person. I don't think we went to game 3. Oh, Kevin L, that's awesome. Appreciate you, man. You've seen us during our growth phase. That's cool, man. With Miss Meadow Witch, it's pretty much just our excuse me, chat. Been talking for 2.5 hours. With Miss Meadow Witch, it's pretty much just our Ball, Doom Traveler, Obby that really miss with that. But the strength with Miss Meadow Witch is hitting double Vampire Sovereign, double Hostage Taker, double Relief Captain. Even if we just need to blink a Wall of Omens to draw a card or leave Sky Knight to slow him down, Miss Meadow's got a ton of application in this deck.
All right, let's freaking rock, man.
Let's roll this.
The only thing is, I'm like, there's part of me that really wants that Esper 4/4 for 4 flyer in the deck, but we just don't have room for it.
Well, we would have to cut off some of our medium cards. Like Vampiric Rites is kind of a bad draw in the wrong situation. We would have to basically cut cards that aren't as consistent if we wanted to put something in like that. And we don't have a ton of not consistent cards in this deck. It's really built how I wanted to be built. Okay, we have all 3 colors represented across 2 lands plus a wall, and we're on the draw.
And a removal. This looks good. I actually like it. Yeah, the Obnix is we're kind of far away from,
but we potentially hit turn 1 or turn 3 Ball, which is pretty sick.
Yes, which is really good. So we'll start with the Spires here.
Yep.
And they are blue-black as well. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we definitely need to draw land off the wall. Show us land, show us land, show us beautiful land.
All right, we got one more draw to do this.
All right, let's do it. And then I believe that we do go 1,000,000% Cabal. Oh, freaking brutal. Vampiric Rites at least lets us sack the wall to draw land if we don't do it next turn.
Yeah. Right now it's looking like we're running against a React Andy kind of deck. So we're just gonna do what we do.
I mean, if we draw land, we are absolutely online in a big way.
Possible that they just counterspell the Ball here. Nope. Now is when we want to cast it. Ooh, what we want to do now is Casmina's that thing.
Yeah, we definitely do. Kevin says, shout out to you guys. Been listening every week for 2 years. We appreciate you, Kevin. Oh, blink wall. Let's see if we can get land. That's my vote.
My gut says get the tall rand. I mean, these are going to be 2/2 flyers every single time this thing procs. My gut says we need to Kasmina it right now before there's any value.
God, I don't want to miss another land drop. The most I think they're going to get out of that Kasmina is maybe 1 token.
Okay.
I would go one or the other. If you want to Kasmina, I'm down to Kasmina.
No,
oh, fucking. Well, we're digging. We are digging. We are certainly digging. I guess you could get rid of Capture Sphere, and now we're playing the game where we're trying to get to Supreme, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's really all that we can do at this point. We need 2 lands, one of which is white.
Yep.
Tiaturo, thanks for hanging. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. If you are enjoying the stream, click like and subscribe.
Yeah, if you're still hanging out, now's the time of the stream where we just kind of chill and actually play some Magic after talking about it for 2 hours.
I like playing Magic with you, Joel. This is a fun time, man.
With you. We're still trying to figure out exactly how we want these to go every week. But,
wow.
This is the first time that we've ever done segments into gameplay, so we're gonna kind of see how it goes. Okay.
Finally, we are not getting super soaked, dude. We need to I think we just throw Cabal out and try and mitigate, or we go Kasmina's here. I'm down for that as well. Cabal seems good.
Well, there's a world where
we got the wall, dude.
I mean, this 2/3 against all those 2/3s is gonna. I mean, 2/2s is gonna be pretty sick. So I'm wondering. I mean, I guess we can also just mitigate the damage there. Yeah, let's go Cabal. And
What Cabal is going to do here is it is going to put us in a situation where as soon as they answer it, it has net value for us.
Or do we just EOT? What if we stay up, EOT Vampiric Rights the wall, since we're trying to Supreme next turn anyway? And that gives us 2 land shots or 2 card draws at lands to hit that planes that we need here.
I mean, I think the wall is actually doing work for us right now, Maddie, against the Talron.
I mean, it's blocking the 1/2/2 creature, but every single time that instant or sorcery pops, we're going to get another flyer. So Verdict is going to have to be the call at some point.
Absolutely, but we have to find white. Because we could draw another land and Supreme doesn't work. But then Call to the Feast could work. Part of me doesn't hate the Falconer here to just get in the air and start killing flyers. It's going to be a good bait for Cabal as well. There's a lot of good lines.
Maybe we can just control their board and we just hold Supreme back for now.
Yeah, maybe we just go, I think Falconer.
I do want to play the 2/3 right now, because if we do Relief Captain on top of Call to the Feast, we'll be able to hit 2 of our lifelinkers and our 2/3, and they all become flying.
So this is where my mind is living. Is next turn you outlast Falconer. If they go to remove it, you Vampiric Rights it in response. Draw a card.
All right, so they're returning the Agony Warp. Yeah. So they've got a +3, a -3/-3 there.
Okay. So you could put the wall in front of the Talrand and then make them use the Agony Warp. Actually, why not double block the Talrand, right?
Oh yeah, it doesn't have flying yet anyway.
I mean, they could choose to kill the Falconer, but us trading there is good. We save our Kasminas.
Well, they obviously don't want the Talrand to die. They've put themselves into a forced decision situation, which probably wasn't the smartest, when they could have just flown over for 2 and saved the Agony Warp for when it was absolutely necessary.
Yep.
But I mean, they do have a
2.
Yep, another no land hand. Really need that white mana. So I think we
just oh man. Yeah, I think the move is to actually Yeah, the Talrand got out of hand. Maybe Kesmina's on that earlier was the move. But yeah, let's just what we should do is probably sack the wall. Yeah.
Well, at least it'll be able to block next turn. So what we'll do here is pass and then block the Talrand and then sack it EOT.
Yeah.
And hope that we, by drawing 2 cards, can hit a white so that we can just clear their board, because we're about to be staring down 4, maybe 5 Drake tokens.
Yep. And we do know it can't be countered.
Yep, that's the beautiful part of it.
So yeah, we have 2 chances here to draw white. And
yeah,
if we
Rocky, we covered all of our topics. Now I guess I should change the title of the stream. We covered all of our topics for the night. At this point, we are just hanging.
Just doing some hanging. There's rebound. Okay. So we'll block the Talrand with the wall, take a massive amount of shit in the air, and hopefully Supreme Verdict next turn in our main.
Yeah, we're going to take some hits, but we can take hits with this deck. It's got lifelink built in.
Yeah, and we are going to be able to sacrifice the wall to gain a little bit of life.
Right. Yep. Drake. I mean, I knew it was going to get out of hand. They had a very good hand, but they did just return Agony Warp again, which is kind of annoying. I imagine they don't even swing the Talrand this time. Yeah.
All right, so we take 6.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do it since we can. Planes. God.
I mean, this is what's annoying is we're 16 cards in to a deck that we drafted, and we have only drawn 3 lands.
Yep, we run 17.
Yeah.
Come on, Plains. It's going to be a Plains. We never didn't have it. It's going to be a Plains. They're going to play another creature onto this board, and it's going to be a Plains. And Bobby Z, what's up? Jank, what's up? Double moderator. Sex dot click here. Better look out. Naked HD. Keep your head on a swivel. The mods are in chat.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth.
Planes, give me your energy. Yeah, baby.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
I
baby.
can't believe it. I was so ready to bitch about this. I'm not gonna lie. I was so fucking ready to be mad.
Didn't have it. I say we Supreme Verdict. What do you think?
I think Supreme Verdict is the way to go. And then we are in control mode the rest of this game.
I think we gotta try and just push Relief Captain is our next 2 turns to try and get some life back.
Kambal first.
I can do that. Bait out some stuff. Kambal eats an Agony Warp for sure. All we're doing is fine. We're putting Kambal out there to eat an Agony Warp. Wouldn't we rather that hit Relief Captain? Falconer. Okay, I don't hate that. That's a 4/4. They're returning Vampiric Rites because what we needed was to be slowed further down.
All right, so we can go Doom Traveler and Kambal, put it on them to answer shit. I actually like that.
How about we go Doom Traveler and Falconer? Bait out the Agony Warp.
What is the power toughness on Aether Snipe?
4/4.
Well, here's
but it doesn't
the thing.
Fly. So
just
Doom
remember
Traveler
how
blocks it really
good.
well.
That's true. Just remember how strong Kambal was for us and how much life it gained.
I know exactly how strong it is, but I hate playing it when they've got 3 cards left in hand, and I'm 100,000% sure one says destroy target Kambal for 2 mana that you've got open. So we're gonna play Kambal, and before we even go back to their turn, it's gonna be dead. But here, at least we get rid of it because we cast a bird. And they're like, okay, well, that bird is back. And then we go ahead and
this is good.
hit this just to buy us a turn for Aether Snipe.
You're right. That's smart.
So they didn't even want to use it on that.
That's a good turn.
I bet if we... Yeah.
The 4/4 will beat face, but if it comes down to it, then we'll use a Kesmina's mutation on it and make it a 1/1.
We're going to drop Kambal at a moment of, it doesn't matter at all. We are... do I do this right now? Yeah,
yes.
We're just going to go ahead and do the 4.
Yeah. Def.
We drop it at a point where they're like, shit, I've got bigger fish to fry than Comball, but it is slowly bleeding me at this point. Ugh. Yeah, we're just playing against a deck that's pretty similar to our deck, but they had mana for the game and we did not have mana for the game.
I think we could call to feast here and get ready to relief captain. And hopefully get to where we draw black, and we have a flyer over there, that's fine. But here's the thing, Joel, is we have the Falconer ready to go. If we can set up the call to feast into the relief captain, then we are outlasting for 1, and we are able to smack in with some serious lifelink. This 1,000,000% will force the removal on the Falconer. But now at this point, Cabal does need to come out because we need to start gaining life. So it's like, I think.
No, yeah, no, I think you're right. I think we go call to the feast, because then once those come on, they'll all have flying as well. And I mean, I'm assuming they're going to be punching in with the Vampire Sovereign. We'll just chomp the Aether Snipe again with the Spirit token. Oh, is this going to eat the counterspell?
Is there a counterspell? Maybe.
4 cards in hand. Victor, what's up? Sign your win grace in Vegas? Yeah, of course. Yeah, there we go. I mean, there's not... This is so frustrating. We didn't get to play. And now we're against a control deck that's got all of the freaking mana. It's all good. We got another call to the feast.
Yeah, they have it. I mean, at this point, we should just get Cabal out there to gain life.
I guess we're just going to go ahead and outlast here. We'll take a hit here, but we'll block 4, take 3.
That's fine. I think this is a good moment to outlast here. Is that a 3/4 now?
Yeah, 3/4 flyer.
So that now.
Okay, so that was Agony Warp on the token just for them to get 7 damage through.
Yeah, that'll win. That'll win the game.
Lightning Bolt or Prophetic Bolt. Yeah. Okay, cool. Must be nice. Must be nice.
It must be nice to not have mana problems.
Don't really know what we would change. We're very control heavy for them. Spell Pierce? Maybe Spell Pierce over Rights, or...
I think Rights could come out and maybe just become another body, especially if they're running a ton of control.
Well, then let's take the let's take the 4-drop, and we'll just go.
We can do that.
A little heavier there,
or possibly even the Jeskai Elder.
Well, I like that Gargoyle doesn't get hit by the -3/-3 spell.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
At least survives that.
Yeah, I say let's just run it like this and hope that we draw well.
Yeah, it'd be nice. We didn't really run into that in the first match, so you know, we got to go 2-0 here, but we did it the first round.
Victor says, "Hey guys, thanks for signing my win grace in Vegas. You guys are the best." Victor, I remember doing that. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hello.
Nerds.
Nitpicking nerds, what's up?
I hate when Magic does that. What happened right there? I hate when Magic does that. Doesn't give you any lands.
I know, dude. I think we should just be happy that we have 3 lands in our hand.
Yeah, this is brutal.
It isn't the best, but I think it's a keep.
Especially because most of our blues on tap lands.
Yeah. We'll get to Falconer and Relief Captain, and if that's all we do this game, then that's all we do this game.
Our opponent mulligan to 6. Come on, baby. One time. Mull to 5. Let's go. One time.
We are rooting for our opponent to draw poorly. That's how we want to play this round.
They started with 6. Here we go.
All right, let's go. All right, so clearly the move is Falconer. Outlast once.
Yeah, I like that the Falconer gets out of range of the Agony Warp once it outlasts.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. John says, I like the video topic today, nerds. Oh, talking to nitpicking nerds. Got it. All right, so double relief captain and a relief captain seems really strong.
Pretty strong.
Yeah. One blue mana and we're
Beezy.
online in a big way.
Beezy, I hope you brought your luck. Okay, see, now they're open for Agony Warp. Do we Doom Traveler
fine.
here or just go into Abzan Falconer?
I think we Abzan Falconer and just present a threat.
Make them have it. Here's your
if it's
Agony
mana
Warp
leak,
target.
then whatever.
No, it's an Agony Warp.
Well, they either have it or they don't. Whatever. Okay.
You don't know about Stolo 7? Stolo 7 always has it.
Well, it is a common.
Nice. Love when we don't draw land or land.
I know, right? We got this. They are drawing perfectly. That's what they do. And that's okay.
Next draw, Obnixilis for us.
Next draw will be a black mana.
I'll take a swamp. Pirates Pillage.
Land. Oh my god. My goodness.
Don't you know we're playing black white weenie?
Just okay, get the Falconer out.
We're in first place. We're in first place. We're in first place. Here's an Agony Warp target with your treasure tokens. Oh my god, it survived an untapped phase of Stole 07s. Skenrenda!
It is nice to have a good focus deck. It must be amazing. Oh, cool. Four color. I love it. Four color, good pile.
dude.
Look, we are not worthy enough to draw a fourth mana until turn 10 in limited. This fucking, I'm telling you, man, I know I've said it, but I hate Mitgo and auto shufflers, these electronic shufflers, for this specific reason. This does happen in Paper Magic, but not at the rate that it happens on Mitgo. I always get fucked on mana. It's because the algorithm does not see enough money going into this account.
I don't think that is correct at all. And I think that's a complete conspiracy theory that is propped up by confirmation bias.
Yeah.
I don't want to play this one anymore. I'm just going to concede this one.
Yeah.
I think it's more worth our time to potentially just get another match. We'll take that as our loss. That's fine. That game is just like that. They still had 6 cards in hand. We know one was a basic. Yeah, Bobby, this is a 17 land deck for sure. We just hit it two games in a row. That's really all it was. Shit happens. Especially on Mitgo when you're not spending money on your account.
Right. Amen. Amen. Daniel, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Depends.
If this next match goes as well as that one did, 100%. No, John. No, John.
Yeah, I mean,
10 ticks
it's
is the
just
normal
like
price for an MTGO draft, oh nickel. All right, here we go. This is going to be a brand new world. We won the dice roll. Look at that. Look at that. We need some white mana. But we got to keep this, in my opinion. We're doing it. The earth is flat. The shuffler's rigged. These are things we know.
The earth is flat, the shuffler's rigged, things you can always count on in life. That's right.
All right. We would love to turn to a white mana. That is not the white mana. I don't know if we go Miss Meadow here.
I think.
We are on the third match now. We are 1-1 with this deck. We drew very poorly in round 2. Very poorly. White mana. We're also 3 colors without a ton of fixing.
Just get Miss Meadow out there, I think. We'll just peck in for 1.
It really doesn't seem worth it, but I guess we can.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not doing anything until we draw a white mana in this deck.
Yeah, maybe it was a mistake to keep this. I liked 3 lands.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. Perk up. These games are going to happen. The deck isn't that good. I think we got lucky in the first round.
Yeah, maybe.
Obviously, we were hitting our colors in the first round because I remember we were playing games that wasn't as many non-games as this. But it's all good. We can, if this just goes poorly, we'll chalk this one up. Yeah, I mean, woof.
Just swing.
Oh, I mean... Only keep 5 land hands? Yeah, maybe. That might be it.
It is just interesting how right now the game is set on 3 lands being the going rate for this deck. And I don't know if that's just how we built it or what.
We are very white dependent. Yeah, see. We're super white dependent. But, you know, 19 more swings with this and we win.
Yeah, they're like, they have to be like, what the fuck did those idiots build at Jake and Joel or Magic? They're like, don't they know that if they're playing a white deck, they shouldn't be running only fucking swamps and blue mana? God. It's like hard to look at this.
Idiots.
It's
look at this.
fucking hard to look at this shit.
We're gonna get together.
Hey, meanwhile, they're on perfect natural.
Yeah,
we drew
seriously.
into our perfect 4-color lands.
5, Jake.
I hope you're ready to get
5.
fucked.
5. They have white on their first crypt expires. They have all 5 colors represented.
Good.
In 5
They
land
did
drops.
it perfectly. I love when the Wizards of the Coast employees draw well. It must be nice.
Look at that. Bloodbraid just cascaded into Weathered Wayfarer. That could have been worse. Declare blockers. It's like it's taunting me now. Use your mana. Do you still have mana? Nope.
Fucking
I want to.
Oh my God.
Honestly, Jake, my soul, my gut right now says abandon this
just
deck
concede.
completely. Like just
no.
bail out.
Let's at least try to get back our shit. Let's look at the mana. Oh my God. Cut a swamp for a white. I am fine with not ever drawing swamps.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, we're really worried, I think, about casting Vampiric Sovereign and Obnixilis. But seeing 4 that game is probably...
Yeah, I think we're just...
Supreme Verdict showed up to be like...
Yeah, let's just cut Vampiric Rites and bring in a flyer, and then we'll cut another swamp and bring in another plains.
So we bring in the Tower Gargoyle?
Yeah, that thing.
Another 4-drop?
Yeah.
And then we'll cut another swamp and go up a plains. Okay.
Maybe we need one more. Well, whatever.
This is
We'll
that was a sideboard too, so hey, look, we drew this in a Wall of
Does
Omens.
it have white?
Yeah.
Let's fucking win a game.
It said, I see you've put in 8 planes. Would you like a Cryptic Spires? We're good. We are good. Everybody.
I'm so great. I'm having a good time.
You sound grumpy.
I'm not grumpy. I was enjoying getting my ass pounded. Let's play the wall and win.
You've been giving BuzzFuzz voice clips all day.
This looks good.
We're gonna play Mentor of the Meek next and try and set up an Abzan Falconer trigger. Yeah, see, Jank knows it. Look, I mean, sometimes, and I'll say this especially as a streamer, we know when it's like, you know what, let's just abandon this and go to a new deck. This one isn't fun to play. It can't be fun to watch. Right now, this has got to be fairly fun to watch because we're actually doing shit. I'm gonna go Mentor this turn.
Wait, so that Weathered Wayfarer can just keep getting land every turn?
Search your library for a land card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Activate only if an opponent controls more lands than you.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Bobby Z says, I can't even watch this anymore.
Fair.
I love it. Everybody, if you are enjoying the stream, click like and subscribe. All right, so we are drawing land. We are well on curve. Is it worth it to capture sphere that thing? Probably not, right?
It's just getting them lands. I don't care.
Yeah, let's just get the Falconer out and draw. Oh yeah, we will draw. Now get us the support captain, baby.
Support captain next turn is going to be sick. Because that's what we're going to draw, chat. Should have played a swamp there in case we drew a swamp this turn. We would have been able to play Vampire Sovereign. Whoopsie. Oh, yeah, dude. We're only drawing lands. 100% we're only drawing lands for the rest of this game, by the way.
All right, well, here we go. We're going to go swamp this next turn, and I do like just getting the flyer that they have to answer out. I'm fine with that.
We don't have a double swamp. We only have one swamp right now, and it's in our hand.
Then let's get Cabal out while the opponent has 7 things to do.
I like that.
And can we outlast?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and outlast on the Abzan. I'm not going to worry too much about... we are going to pay.
Yeah, baby. Oh, baby, we are doing shit. Oh, baby, we are doing stuff. All right, so I think we offer the Mentor, and if they want to block with the Weathered, then whatever. Yeah. Yes. Yes, this deck is doing things. Next turn, we are going to draw all the cards if they don't remove that Mentor. If we call to Feast, we can draw
2 cards because we'll have 2 mana extra.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Outlast. And right now they're going, okay. That opponent has stuff to do.
Seriously, Anger of the Gods. Yeah, we're playing an actual real Magic game. Isn't that so fun? They don't have Anger of the Gods. I mean, they could have our
so
board
you're about
wipe.
to have a 3/4 flyer?
I have a 3/4 flyer. It's just tapped.
So 3/4 flyer is a nice clock. We need to just start cracking in the air, I think. We could outlast again, but I think that's a good clock to get going.
We want to outlast once with Abzan Falconer because that turns it into a 3/4 flyer for 4 that's spread across 2 turns or 2 activations with the mana, I guess. I'm still saying that wrong, but you get my point. And then by passive, it gives all our +1/+1 counters a lot of power.
All right, now go with me here. I think instead of Call to Feast, I think we save Call to Feast unless our opponent's about to do like a Damnation or something like that.
Yeah.
And we just wall and draw a card off Mentor.
Yeah, draw 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else we end up playing?
We're just going to swing Cabal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Falconer and Mentor, right?
I wonder, do we just... I mean, this board is pretty nasty right now. Let's go to attacks and see what they plan on doing. Make our decision after that. Because, I mean, this is 7 on the board. That's 3 swings. The player who taps the most
Gregory
wins.
is saying Feast now. You really think Feast now? It seems like win more. It seems like we're setting them up for a good Supreme Verdict. If they Supreme Verdict...
That's what I'm worried about. I mean, under that plan, if we do want to develop a little bit more, the Wall of Omens, we don't care too much about.
I'm a little worried that they kill the Mentor here and we don't get to live the draw dream, but no, they're letting it happen. Okay, I'm wrong.
You're right though. I like that. I like that thought. But here we don't really care if they just Supreme Verdict an additional wall and we get to draw 2 cards off of this whole interaction here.
Yeah, essentially right now we have a board that they have to answer, and if they don't, we are going to win the game. And so right now we're planning for like a post board wipe. How do we bounce back? And we have pretty much everything that we need except for a swamp.
Yeah, I think we just ship it and make them answer something, play some stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
Unpacked.
Hey,
Unpacked. We watched your video earlier. Well, we scrubbed through your video earlier. We went to your video specifically to see what the secret card was in the secret layers, and then realized that you weren't allowed to show it off. Yeah.
All right, Joel. I would expect them to do something. I'm hoping it's not like a Hydroid Krasis.
Summer Bloom, we can play up to 2 additional lands, and Kambal's gonna hit them for that.
Fuck yeah. Make it happen. Cabal is such a beast of a card. It might be my favorite card.
Dude.
Might be my favorite Magic card,
one of my favorite decks is my Liesa with Kambal. Liesa used to be a Kambal deck, but I turned it into Liesa deck. Okay, what are they going to cast here that wins them the game? Oh, they're going to make our life total 10, and that's going to get capture sphered. Got it.
They can make our life total 10. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure, that gets capture sphered, and then do we just...
Do we swing out again?
Swing past?
Yep. Oh, hell yeah, dude.
That should do it, I would imagine, right?
I would think they would concede to the capture sphere, yeah, but we'll see if they've got another trick up their sleeve. If we draw a swamp, we win for sure, because we can lightning bolt them with the Sovereign.
Yes.
Nope. We're going to draw all the planes, because we took out all the swamps.
That's right. We need to cut a plains and bring 1 swamp back in. Even though this has flash.
Why not?
Yeah, especially while they're tapped out, right? And then maybe just go Falconer in the second main, especially since they presented that Sphinx. They probably don't have a board wipe. They only have 3 cards in hand. I reckon they block one of these or else they die.
They'll die if they don't.
Yeah. All right, so they go to 2. Do we just Falconer?
I still don't think we do anything.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I think this is all presented as they have to answer now.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're at 2.
And they don't have a blocker anymore.
I don't think they can do 10 damage right now.
I mean, if
I
they've
would love
got
to see a Torment of Hailfire.
Right, if they've got something insane and that's their whole deck is Magister gets them to 10 and then some spell takes us the rest of the way, rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, MPN has it right. They lose if they wrath.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Kambal's going to hit any non-creature.
All right, so let's cut a plains, bring in a swamp. I'm going to use the restroom because I broke the seal. And let's run it.
In between every game, we're
well piloting. Catchy fishy seeing you.
Catchy fishy seeing you here. Oh my gosh. Kambal, baby. Kambal really is where it's at. The secret cards shall not be revealed until July 19th. MTG Unpacked, answer me this. Was that like special promotional packaging for writers, creators, media outlets that got this pack? Or if you buy the bundle, are you going to get all of that accoutrement? Balls to the walls, baby. So you get taxed by a ball. Yeah, exactly. They had the original case inside that special casing, which is what I think made it pretty clear that that was like promotional packaging. We've only gotten one thing from Wizards like that before, but it was pretty sweet.
All right, we running it back. Good luck.
Oh,
Let's see
your
if we
life
can
points fall. Oh, scratch by a combo. Look at that. No planes. Hell yeah.
At least we're on the draw. I think we maul this.
We're going to have to maul this because we need white. Oh my God, dude.
Look at that. Look at that. We don't put enough money in.
We just need to get off this stupid three-color deck, bro.
We could go turn 1 Doom Traveler and then turn 2 draw a land.
I'm just going to throw Capture Sphere back because it's the biggest.
This is brutal.
And I
we
would
just
rather
can't
keep
go
it
to
throughout.
5. Our chances of
okay, here we
winning
go.
After go.
We need to go white, black, blue, white in a row. Look at their turn 1 fucking evolver. God, dude. This is very bad.
All right, we have one more chance to do this. If we get the wall out, then we can flicker the wall and draw another card.
Gregory said keep. The packaging said something about an influencer bundle. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Fuck.
All right, we're moving on. We're just going to be able to draft a whole nother deck and play that deck at least once.
Yeah, let's give it one more turn. Let's see if we draw one more turn.
Pass showing that we kept a one-lander.
Yep. Let's see if we can do it.
Offering
one more
the
turn.
trade. Right now he's like, oh, how do I block and grow this thing? Just Ray said orchids. Thank you for repeating that. You put it in the DM along with your address. Perfect. Just Ray, I'll get these out to you. The orchids for Ray.
What's your last name? Skywalker.
Hey, we're winning.
We need to draw one single land and that's it.
I'll take more than that.
Yeah, I mean, more than that would be good, but one single land would get us in the game.
I told our opponent I'm running 12 lands. Why don't I see any? Yeah, dude.
Well,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, this deck, I don't know what it was. We didn't put enough money into it, so we were not able to draw well. We had 17 lands. It either drew like we wanted all of them, or it drew like we didn't have any of them in there. It was a very interesting, scary experience.
All right, we out.
Everybody here.
If you just heard some like, that's me walking through the grass. No, please, no. That's me dragging the deck by the collar. We're going out behind the barn. We're going into the barn. I locked it so the kids can't come in and watch this. Grab the shotgun off the wall.
It's dark. It got dark.
Sorry, blue, black, white deck. It's our fault, not yours. And then we killed it.
Hitboxer says that was such a good deck though,
bro. Look, we were all over the place when we drafted that one. We know to focus here. I think we tried to the deck is going to a farm, Timmy. That's fucking right.
That's right. That's
the
right.
Deck is going to go to a farm where it can run and run with all the other shitty draft decks.
Yeah, the red white deck was better. I thought that deck was fine. It was just like we just never drew land.
Yeah.
We never drew land when we needed to draw land. I mean, granted, we did keep a one lander there at the end. The Wall of Omens made it kind of greedy. It was like, well, all we need is the land.
It's the old Wall of Omens plan. Oh, Bobby has a really good suggestion. Draft 5-color good stuff and then just draw your 5 colors naturally each game. Yeah, you like how our 5-color good stuff opponent was like, first you play the white, and then you play the blue, and then here comes the black, green, and red.
All right, there's part of me, Joel, that wants to just do this, like, do this right, and just meme style 5-color good pile, and we just take all of the bounce lands that we can find, and we just go all of the best and greediest spells and then just let the algorithm sort it out whether we're meant to win or lose.
We should spend $100 on like event tickets. We know we'll use them over the next 2 years or so, and we'll really test your theory if we can get a good draw by dumping $100 into this into this game.
Yes. Yeah, dude, just put 100 if we scrub out here, just put $100 in, and we will we'll go ahead and draft some good pile. It'll be great.
Oh, Nickel, with the set like this, it's not so much about the strongest colors as it is about getting a strong piece of one of the archetypes, of which I think there are 6 to 8. And then, wow, Weathered Wayfarer really lets us fix. And then making sure that you have good synergy around the archetypes that you pick. You really don't want to differ too much. Okay, so we're going best 2 cards out of this pack, period.
Yeah, best 2. Are we doing it? 5 color good pile?
We're right now we are completely open because we just started this draft.
Okay. I would go whenever Saltai Soothsayer ETBs, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Okay. That's kind of good.
Each player mills 2 cards and put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That seems pretty good, especially if we're, you know, liking the synergies that these 2 represent.
Other than that,
Weathered Wayfarer is pretty good. The circle lands, the circle lands are in every pack. Fuck off, Jank. Damn it, Jank.
what is that card? Martial Glory. Oh, okay.
We know that one. That's a preview card alert. Preview card alert. I really think that I like Conclave Mentor. This is like one of the best 2 drops. We know the +1 counter synergy can be really strong, especially if
it's a good 2-drop. It's a good 2-drop with upside.
And then Wayfarer is gonna, like, we're completely open still picking this as half of our 2 picks here, because as long as it's got white in it, we can get any land.
Someone says call Wayfarer and call, and then we could just go into. Well, it depends. Are we going to go for the meme and go for good pile?
Call is. It depends on how well people know.
Bobby says, "Oh my God, take altar and build Rakdos Sacrifice." Wayfarer is really good with bounce lands.
I don't mind taking Wayfarer and Phyrexian. No, I think that it's here. I think that this is a nice little. Taking Conclave is a big piece of the +1 counter deck, and Wayfarer is just going to be good as long as the deck controls white. I like this. This is what my gut says. Do you guys have a video on the archetypes by chance? Oh, Nickel, we actually don't. Jake and I don't really make a lot of content that is based around draft. This is not something that we typically do.
Lord of Extinction's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. Is that worth grabbing?
It's not a bad bomb. It doesn't have trample, which is kind of annoying. Taking the Rakdos here is fixing, especially in a pack where we're like, is any of this worth grabbing?
I think I would probably grab. Oh, Experiment 1 is that's a good note.
Oh, that's a good 1-drop in this deck. I mean, I hate taking a comment out of this pack, but this is another one where, you know, Ambuscade is also, yeah, if we are going to end up being in green, this is a absolutely insane trick. Deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. One way damage
I would do
deal.
That. Yeah.
Want to go the removal?
Yeah, I want to go removal. I think removal is good. It's fun to meme and want to just go for the.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really am not. Look at that Carador. Holy shit. Burning Tree is good. Carador at this point, it'd be interesting to see if Carador wheels.
I would grab the Recluse.
Recluse is a great pick. Experiment 1, here's another one. Maybe if these pop up again, we'll know that green is pretty wide, and green can really be strong in this format.
If we take that Experiment 1 and then just go into counters, I think counters are open. I think if we take that experiment one, it's going to signal to whoever we pass this to that green is going to start getting cut. And if we can see Carador go around, Weathered Wayfarer is going to help with that.
So look at this. If we are going to go you don't like the Abzan Falconer given everything with a +1/+1 counter on it flying?
I think that Abzan Falconer will wheel. I think Experiment 1 is a really good 1-drop for the counter deck.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. If we just play, we're going to take Experiment 1 every single time we see it. Also good with that. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. But if it's a creature power 4 or greater, Arachnus Web is going to get destroyed. This is mill 3, return a creature or land.
Ooh, and that plays with Carador if Carador does wheel.
Yeah, I don't mind taking that. It's also not a terrible turn to take a Cryptic Spires if we want to grab a Spires.
Yeah, let's do a Spires, dude. Spires, that's a good thought. Create a 1/2 green spider creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. Medium on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Spider spawning does seem pretty good, though.
And if we're going to
do
splash for
creatures.
spider spawning and Carador, we'll see if Carador comes back around. If nobody wants to play that deck, we'll build that deck.
Kylan says spider spawning is broken. What's the flashback on it?
7.
Okay. Could regenerate a troll.
Got to be in pretty heavy black if we're going to go 2-drop here. I wish that this put counters on things. I mean, the 3/5 with reach, ETBs, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, you gain 5 life. That doesn't seem absolutely horrible.
That is something that's going to block really well.
Yeah, I do agree, Jank. White is not popping up as much as we want it to be. It's looking like maybe black might be open. Maybe we kind of lean back against black and go with black-green. But I don't mind the 3/5 for 5. Let's look at it.
I like the 3/5. It's fine.
Now, see, Thrive is really good. Tuskguard Captain. Holy shit. Biogenic Upgrade. I mean, like, this feels like a win con for our deck if we're going to build this +1s deck.
Distribute 3 1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures, then double the number of 1/1 counters.
It's potentially a 6 power.
It's a win con.
Yeah.
Nitpicking Nerds is saying pivot. Pivot into what?
Maybe pivot, but the thing is we can still pull these green cards that are +1 counter based. We don't want to lean too far away from our main strategy.
What are they saying to grab? Bounty?
I don't know. I'm going Biogenic Upgrade. This is MTGO. White is looking pretty sparse. Let's look at the black cards here. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of...
And it has Death Touch. That 4-butt on that is really annoying.
Yeah,
we could just cut white, go green-black.
Yeah, very possible. We'll see. We still got 2 more packs to go.
Death Touch is good.
I think, by about the halfway point of pack 2, I think we've pretty much decided a path. We still have the majority of this pack remaining, so...
Maybe we end up going Jund. Seeing Augur Sprees makes me excited.
So here, if we are going to pick a black card, because, I mean, these 2 white cards are fine. I kind of like the Disfigure.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Disfigure. I think that what we could do, Joel, is... likely cut the counter strategy. I don't think we're seeing the counter strategy here. So it would be like Experiment 1 and Mentor could probably go, even though Mentor's a really good 2-drop. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll play it by ear.
I think we'll see. Oh, I got you, nerds. Night, Trent. Thanks for hanging. So here's our Phyrexian Altar back around. Also, Grapple with the Past. Are we kind of looking at maybe a black-green graveyard deck? We also see Call to the Feast.
I am wondering if alter is the choice here.
I feel like it's grapple with the past. This is basically card draw. You just only get to pick one of the three. But if you need a land, play grapple with the past. You're going to dig down 3 cards and then your 4th to when you draw your next one. And then I think we go Mangler here. It's a 3/3 for 3 with haste that can scavenge.
Yeah, this card's good. I remember this. This was in Dredge Mangler was... God, was that? No, not New Phyrexia. Was it?
Do you like Recluse here or Glowspore Shaman?
Recluse. Really good 2-drop. Glowspore is good as well. I bet Carador did not wheel, did it?
Nah, I doubt it did. I think we would have seen it already. Oh, it's any card in the graveyard, not just the revealed. So yeah, grapple with the past seems really good. I don't know if you want to get like 2 max, if even. Well, here's another one. Oh, this is the one. So it's a 3-mana enchanted creature can't attack or block its activated abilities can't be activated. But then at the end step, if the enchanted creature's power 4 or greater, you destroy it. I think I like another.
I would take that.
Probably
Removal
Spy.
is good. It's fine. I like the removal.
Toss Firemine into our sideboard.
God, no one wants the red liege, huh? Jeez.
Hey, look at that. Last turn Thrive. It's a pretty big sorcery for our deck. Each creature card in your graveyard. I mean, Liliana is pretty good. All right, so we got Chaos Warp and we got Nim Death Mantle at our rares. At our uncommons, we've got Dimir Aqueduct, Prophetic Bolt, Sprouting Thrinax. And then at common, we've got Ambuscade, Elvis Rejuvenator, which I really like. Might of Old Kroza. Nothing else that's hugely relevant for us.
Will you read the equipment?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure we want the equipment.
Gets +2/+2 and has Intimidate and is a black zombie. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard, you can pay 4. If you do, return that card to the battlefield and attach Nim Death Mantle to it.
We want to run that.
Okay, so we know we're going to lock in Nim Death Mantle. Do we go a second Ambuscade? Do we keep this in case we want to end up splashing red for Jund? Do we take the Aqueduct just because it'll give us more fixing?
Yeah, we could take the Aqueduct. I'm fine with that. It gives us a splash for blue, and it also ramps us.
I kind of want Ambuscade. We've got a lot of 3 power in this, and that gives it a +1. That turns it into 4 power. Start shooting 4 butts.
Yeah, Ambuscade. I'd be fine with Ambuscade and Nim Death Mantle. The Bugler is good, but I feel like we're getting away from white.
Yeah, I think we might. Well, I think we might dump out a white.
Get the death. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I'm thinking Death Mantle Ambuscade is probably where I fall out. I just really like that removal, man. And if we're gonna be this heavy in green, which it looks like we are.
You think the mantle wheels? I don't know if it does. 2/2
really
and
fun.
Intimidate is that feels like a clock, right?
Yeah, it's that equip of 4, I think, that turns people off of it.
Yeah, I know the equip is 4.
You love equipment, bro.
I haven't drafted this set yet, but I feel like removal is always slightly worse in these sets where every card will just kill you if you fall behind on board. Yeah, that's fair. Like Elvish Rejuvenator is really good as well.
The elf. Yeah. Rejuvenator's really good. But we can take one here.
I also don't hate just picking up another Disfigure at instant speed. -2/-2. But yeah, Rejuvenator. I mean, the 3-drop spot is getting kind of... maybe Liliana's Elite goes away. We could probably take another 3-drop. I mean, as long as the 3-drop can be stacked, there can be a bunch of 3-drops. As long as they're good, meaningful 3-drops, it's
Right.
fine. This figure is probably, I mean, geez, there's 2 disfigures in this pack. That's wild.
We haven't really seen a.
Filbert says, why not Vile?
We don't really have a bunch of. I mean, we're gonna be.
I
in
mean,
green.
it is good.
Amulet, Traveler's Amulet. What is this thing? Tap an untapped spider you control. Search your graveyard for a card named Arachnus Web and put it onto the battlefield attached to target creature. Wow.
Yeah, we should run that, especially since we're running an Arachnus Web. Plus, it's a 5/7 with reach. It's a nice big card, must be removed. The horse is great. I love the unicorn, but I think the spider, we already have a web.
Well, and now
we need to just play it for the memes.
If we see any more Arachnus Webs, we just grab those, right? I hope we see
Everybody's
a
saying
second
take the unicorn, exile another target creature you control.
Oh, it does seem good. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay the mana.
I know, but then this puts us into a double white spell when we're moving away from white.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think we go with consistency.
I'm going
Yeah.
Arachnus Spinner. We're going with the spider.
We're going giant spider. There we go. Let's just take the 2 basilicas. Let's take the basilica and the garrison.
Why would we take those? We can only pick one, by the way. Why not just spires to
Bounce lands.
stay in our colors?
No, you're right. Basilica makes it to where we can splash white, and then we could pick up like a Pride Mage or something. And then all the spires
You
could
know what?
have white on them.
I don't hate that.
We can splash white.
I like that we're talking about splashing white, and our white drops are at 1 and 2.
But what's interesting about this is now that we know that we have a basilica, we know like we pick up a couple other spires, we can put some like 4 or 5-drop white.
Ooh. I think Altasaur is the pick for this deck. It cascades, it reaches, it tramples. It's a 6/5. We need some
We're just
top
going
end.
big stuff. We need to find some ramp spells. Do we have any ramp stuff? There's
so
another
far,
ambuscade
so
too.
far, it's the Elvish Rejuvenator. We've got 2 ambuscade at this point. I mean, how soon until we go mono green, chat? Yeah,
oh,
I
Joel,
think
Summer Bloom.
Derposaurus.
Is that worth it?
Instead of Derposaurus?
Is the Summer Bloom? It is uncommon, so it might be good for this deck.
I don't like this.
You don't? Okay.
Not over.
All right, then
not
play
over
the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer. I don't think we need to. I don't think
Second
to.
annoyed Altasaur.
I think we go the Unearth.
And maybe the Unearth, since we've got some synergies for that.
And it can cycle. Yeah. But it is 3 or less. Is there
we go
enough
double-
important shit for it to hit? Probably
Yeah.
not, right?
Well, I mean, Rejuvenator.
No, go double Altasaur. Why not?
We took the Unearth. Like, see, I like
then-
Rejuvenator here. Rampant Growth.
Ooh, or Codal?
Rampant Growth's exactly what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, we need Rampant Growth. 100%. We can't pass Rampant Growth in this deck.
Because if we do, I
We
mean,
can't.
maybe that Altasaur 4/8. I mean, that Altasaur might get back around. And so
Also,
if-
it's only pack 2. Only pack 2.
that's true. But if Altasaur gets back around, now we can start thinking, okay, let's just start prioritizing cards like Rejuvenator and Rampant Growth when we see them. And we'll play this
Yeah.
rush to Altasaur deck.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then run stuff like Ambuscade and a giant spider.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like
We
this
have
rampant
to
growth there.
run Arachnus Spinner and the web. Oh, Liege.
Yeah, I mean,
If
I
a
really
spell
like
or an
this here.
ability an opponent controls
Makes you
causes
discard it,
you
you
to-
get it for free.
Yeah, we need a good 4-drop. We don't have any 4-drops.
And that can be, I mean, we are heavy green right now. So, like, green, green, green 1 is fine.
Vamp Rights. Someone is saying Vamp Rights.
Vamp Rights isn't bad in this deck by any means. I think we take Spires here.
Yeah, Spires.
I'm
Def.
kind of feeling Chaos Warp. I'm kind of, it's unbelievable to me that nobody's taken that. I guess it's like a top tier removal spell in Commander, so I guess it's not the same in Limited,
easy
right?
pick land here. Easy pick. Shadowborn Apostle, what a jank card in Limited.
Arachnus Web, right?
Yeah, why not? If we have the spider. Otherwise, we could just go Cryptic again. Just go back to back Cryptic and get all of that
Possibly
done.
grab
And then we
Vamp Rights
know.
here.
I don't know if we're gonna run it. I think I'd rather have the removal, right? Right?
Yeah, and I think you're right about Cryptic. I hadn't really thought about Cryptic.
Yeah. So now going into the final pack, we know we can pretty much splash white if we want easily.
I'm going to just take a second Thrive. I know that we're not going to run 2 Thrive, but
Is the Angel worth it?
whenever a creature attacks, you can pay 3 if you do put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. I don't think so. I would assume we're going to draw a big green thing.
Okay.
If you want to go back and ask me about Lord of Extinction again, I'd like to answer that question differently.
Ooh, Pride Mage. Good 2-drop. In colors. Me likey.
God, I was sitting here in my head going, let's just go monocolor here.
You think Hitboxer, you say Angel is so good?
Summer Bloom spun around the table. If we're going to play that, we need to think about playing 17 lands with this deck. But, you know, running Rejuvenator, running...
No, we should play
Rampant
17
growth.
lands with this deck, for sure.
Should we run 18?
Nick says, no, you should have took the web. Well, we can maybe grab a web in this last pack here.
Maybe so. Bloom Tender seems really on theme for us. A third Ambuscade.
I would honestly grab a second Graveblade Marauder. Having 2 of those, 2 death touching 1/4s is really strong, in my opinion.
I don't mind that. And it's really on theme with us. Especially if we can get anything that's going to dump shit into our graveyard more. We should try and prioritize that with the 2 Graveblade Marauders, because I think you're right.
Yeah, it's just whether it's that or not, it's a death toucher that they have to answer with a really pesky 4-butt. So it avoids a lot of removal. Bugler.
Bugler.
Yeah, I mean Bugler isn't bad. But I like the second Marauder.
Ooh, the Marauder
And it's
is
sick with Ambuscade. Oh yeah, good note. We could just play Marauder Ambuscade, just ping anything that we want.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to do that? There's a chance we see Recluse come back around
Oh
too.
no, definitely Bloom Tender. Definitely with all the big stuff, we got to get Bloom Tender. There will be more Ambuscades.
I really love being able to rush to Annoyed Altasaur, especially the fact that we could probably still pick up an Altasaur in this pack. It's at common. That'd be really sweet.
Bugler?
Yeah, maybe Bugler, but look, glancing at the white, we're still at a point where we could cut the white and really focus on this graveyard Graveblade Marauder strategy with some strong green top end. So we've got a chunk of the deck dedicated to like Ambuscade pings with Graveblade and Cards like Deadly Recluse. Or we ramp up to Arachnus Spinner, Annoyed Altasaur, Biogenic Upgrade.
Yeah, Bloomin' Marauder. I'm good with this.
Hot Dice, it also dodges Agony Warp, which is common.
Wayfarer is really good for ramping, so that's why I do think we end up keeping it.
Yeah, that's true, and it lets us get any land so we can make sure that we've got the colors we need going up. Yeah, I'm happy with these 2 picks.
Yeah, this looks good. All right, let's see what they give us next. All right, well, definitely Fiery Justice. I would probably go Yahenni and Rot Farm.
We can only pick one.
Oh, we can only pick one. Ooh. I mean, Yahenni works so well with us too.
Does it?
Yeah, whenever something dies, put a 1/1 counter on it.
Opponent controls.
Yeah. Could sack stuff to give it indestructible. Not bad.
Okay.
I would go Rot Farm. Rot Farm's good. I mean, they're both really good. It's tough. Possibly Yahenni Wheels, but Yahenni is a really good, annoying threat to deal with. Which one do you like more?
I think
the Rot Farm ramps.
Yeah, well, it's not really ramp.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Let's just go Yahenni. Rancor?
Oh, baby, Rancor. Yeah.
Like, what the hell is that still doing in there?
I mean, we can't pass Rancor.
Jeez.
Inquisition is also good too.
Rancor on pack.
I mean, yeah,
pick
you
3?
can't ever pass Rancor.
Yeah, I just don't know how to pass Rancor up. Exactly, Rancor, a fair and balanced magic card.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of situations where we pass that.
Yeah.
If this was like a giant green and black hexproof trampling threat right over here in rare slot, then maybe we're talking about it.
But no, Rancor pretty much overpowers everything. I can't believe it's still sitting in the pack right now.
So none of them want green cards. So that's pretty nicely sitting at this point, knowing that the 3 players to our left either drafted the most sick fucking green cards we've ever seen or aren't on green. So any green of this like run where it's all rares and uncommons. I mean, there's another Arachnus Spinner to make sure that we've got. Now we'll have, I'm sure we'll see a second Arachnus.
Oh, Skin Render.
Oh, at black. Yeah.
Kylan, I know the spider spawning is good, but we got to pick the Rancor over it.
We don't pass the Rancor. The Rancor goes on all of our shit and makes it trample. Oh, this is another green lord. But still. Skin Render is hard. It's just so good.
It does everything that you want it to do. It's a body. It's killing something. Yeah, exactly. Food time 2 for 1. Right. It trades nicely with the being a 3/3.
I like the 4/4 trampler.
See, so what I would do now is I would probably cut. Yeah, I would take the 4/4 trampler too. We're gonna end up having to cut some stuff, but that's
For sure.
a good place to begin.
That's a great place to be in. I'm already so much more comfortable with this deck.
Oh my god, the first time you put a Rancor on that, it's just gonna be living the dream,
it's
man.
It's already trampler. I'm looking forward to putting Rancor on Arachnus Spinner.
Oh, Abzan Charm. It has Exile on it with 3 or greater. That is true. We weren't even looking at this one. This is really good for the deck.
I'm taking this Rhino, yo. I think Abzan Charm's gonna spin around the board. That's 3 colors.
All right, we'll see if it does.
Hardened Scales. Oh my god. Or do we just go more consistency with Grapple the Pastimes too?
Well, look at counter type synergy to see if Hardened Scales is even worth running.
I mean, Conclave Mentor. End of biogenic upgrade. End of list. Oh, experiment 1. End of list.
I would go settle. We need an actual exile removal spell. If we're not going to take the other removal stuff, this at least can sit in the board and offers a, I mean, especially if we're ramping, having an exile for our opponent's thing is pretty good.
I don't mind that. I mean, Derpy Dinosaur, that's our...
I would go a second Mangler. That's my choice.
A second Mangler? Oh, Drag Mangler?
Yeah, I mean, we could go another big dinosaur, but I don't even know if we're going to end up playing 2. I see it being a cut. I wonder if we'll even play 2 Dread Mangler. I mean, having Scavenge is pretty sweet. You guys are saying Dino? Yeah, why not? We'll just run another Dino.
I mean, I think we've kind of gone pretty hard on the ramp strategy for us to be able to get this. Oh my god.
That.
The Impervious Great Worm?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All
I mean,
right.
clearly.
Now when he lands. Well, now we don't want to cut creatures. We actually want to prioritize creatures because we need to get to 10 mana with our lands and our creatures, and we can cast.
I mean, clearly the actual move is to get the vampire. Because it's a 3/4 flyer for 5.
Yeah, but think about Impervious Great Worm with Rancor on it.
Yeah, I bet that we end up cutting it 100 million% and we don't even play it. I would the Ambuscade isn't bad. The Deadly Recluse is good. We could use a second one of those. Disfigure as well. I would take a second Disfigure.
Yeah, we're pretty removal light, so I'm either the Ambuscade or the Disfigure. Do we get a third Ambuscade to run with our 2 Graveblade Marauders and our Spider? Or just
I like
Disfigure?
the mana efficiency of 1 more, since we already have 2 Ambuscades and a
I
web.
also like having a creature so that we can convoke Impervious.
Yeah, that's true. It will never play anything else. It will play itself into maybe a Rancor.
So do you want to go with this thing?
Spy.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
it puts cards into our graveyard. That's on strategy for us. Nobody wanted to run Zur.
Nothing pack. Dead pack. That's fine.
All of the people before us felt the same way because they just pitched the whole thing. Yeah, Hot Dice, I was going to look at where, oh my god, yes. I was going to look at where we are when we're done here, but that was something I was going to definitely pull some cards off and see what it looks like.
I think we should definitely cut a color for consistency, probably. We're going to have to make some big cuts. There's the charm.
There's
the
drug.
Mangler. Wow.
So I just want to see what this looks like. All right, so we're 2 cards off of a mono green stomp deck that runs Summer Bloom and I guess a Thrive. and it turns into get to Annoyed Altasaur and Impervious Great Worm as quickly as is humanly possible via Bloom Tinder, Rampant Growth.
Yeah,
Summer
I would
Bloom
cut
and-
stuff like Experiment One that doesn't really do anything. That creature,
Right.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of okay.
No. So I think what the reality here is that we have a pretty good thing going with Graveblade, Skin Render, Yahenni, Disfigure. And so now the real deck is like cut down from this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Mangler. I think the real deck is cut down from this.
This is at 47, so it needs 7 cuts.
Yeah. What do y'all think, chat? Double black is definitely tough for splash, but we'll run all 3 Cryptic Spires. Green, black, obby.
I mean, the white cards, like, there's part of me that wants to make it more of like a control kind of deck, like cut the Experiment One, bring in Settle, splash white, have some top end white that can support us, run the Settle, run the Abzan Charm.
I think
I
we
would
start
bring those
putting
2 spells in.
Okay. I just think we start doing the same thing we did to ourselves last game, which is we're not really all in on a focus. We're trying to be a little rampy aggro-y. We're trying to be a little control-y. We've got 3 colors that we've got to hit with our 4 fixing lands. We do have Weathered Wayfarer in that plan, but I mean, we need that white to be there.
Okay, then yeah, if we just go with this, we can just hopefully I would cut the Summer Bloom. I saw somebody saying that. I was feeling that way as well.
So not run Summer Bloom. Okay, yeah. I can get down on that. I'm thinking maybe 18 lands with this deck. And so Summer Bloom could potentially really be great. But I completely get it.
Yeah, I think it's just it becomes green black. Yeah, that can go. We don't need that. 2 Ambuscade, a web. We want our spinner to be able to find the web if we get it.
Yeah, we do have 2 spinner.
One of those could probably go. I like the Reachers, but if we're playing the Altasaurs, they also have reach.
Yeah, I'm kind of on just ramp to these 3 things. And then cut a 5-drop. So it's mostly like get to 7, play some creatures, tap those things, play the...
I think because
Great
we have so
Worm.
much big stuff, I think Rhino could go. I think Rhino's really good, but I think that, with the spinner, it's a good 4-drop.
Yeah, I would rather cut. Honestly,
It's
I
got
would
to draw
hear
a card on it.
I would hear arguments about cutting the top end of this shit before I think we would need to cut that. I love these with the ambuscades. We are running grapple, so that's going to help us there. Rejuvenator's going to help us ramp. Bloom Tender's there for 2 mana max, 1 mana mostly.
So here's the thing is because we are running a rampant growth, we could, for certain situations, run 1 planes in the deck if we do need to go in and get the Settle in like a sideboard type situation. So like we have that as an option. We can always tinker the deck into that. But I think as green black, it looks pretty good. I like the 2 Disfigures. The removal looks good in this deck. Experiment One I think is worth running. Experiment One is pretty much always going to get bigger based on anything that we play.
Right.
Jenks says, to be honest, I cut the spider and the web.
We are at the place where we need 3 cuts, and that's not, we are just, both of them are there because of the other one. And so that's 2 real easy cuts. It cuts off some of our top end, which is, at 7 and 10, already pretty hefty.
My question is, like, how likely are we going to ever cast that Great Worm? Can we just mouse over it? It's Convoke
Indestructible.
Indestructible. Each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1 mana.
So to make this a 6 mana spell, we need to have 4 creatures on the battlefield when we cast it.
Yeah, we should keep it. It's worth it. It's worth it to try and get there. Great Worm is good. I agree. The casting cost seems reasonable. I think we could probably sadly cut a Nim Death Mantle. I think because we have Rancor, we need that card less. It's a good card. I hate to cut the equipment. But yeah, the Death Mantle seems like the way to go. The Liege I would cut, but the thing about it is it buffs our entire team. Because
Yeah, I like
everything
it.
we're playing is green, with the exception of the Marauders and the Yeheni.
I'm kind of on trying to find a spot for this. I'm also kind of on trying to find a spot for this just because having more creatures to convoke the Great Worm out would be really nice. Firemine Vessel is a trap. Says
I don't. Yeah, I feel the same way, and I wasn't even looking at chat, but I was reading it, and I was like, I don't think we need it. I think we have so much good low to the ground creatures that we just need to like draw lands and get there.
So do we cut the spinner in the web and that's our last 2?
I think it works because it brings us down to 16 creatures and 16 creatures
see what
and
this looks
7 other. But I want to look at it. Do we have any reach after that? We have the 5-drop reacher. We have no 6-drop. That's fine. That's fine.
How many
Gregor
basic
says,
swamps do you want to run? I'm kind of on 2. Oh, we'll cut the Basilica for... So that gives us 5 black sources, and we need 2 for the skin render.
Oh, and we need to make sure to change those cryptic spires. Those are all set as white right now.
I already did that.
Oh, you put them back on green black? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we can do this here. Boom. So that brings us 3 basic swamp, 3 cryptic spires, 6 sources of black, plus bloom tender, plus ramping growth.
You said I like Basilica because it gives you an extra land drop. Is it worth running it over like maybe a swamp?
It's only truly... No, it's never truly ramp. Because the land that it replaces, it puts a land back in your hand.
Yeah, it is good for us, but it does slow us down. It does slow us down. Because the land that it bounces back to our hand, we do end up playing that land when push comes to shove, when we're no longer drawing lands to play. Maybe it is worth it because we have the Altasaurs and the Great Worm. Maybe running 1 Basilica isn't a big deal. I don't know.
Okay, I'll run it instead of a basic swamp if we want to run it.
Yeah, let's try it.
It's in the deck.
See. Let's see how it does. I know it comes in tapped, but you know, our deck is mostly a get bigger kind of thing. We have to take some turns off.
Okay, I'm going to save it there. Y'all go ahead and continue to look at it real fast. I'm going to take 2 minutes and then I will be back. There's the deck and sideboard. That's an impervious Great Worm behind my picture.
Are we really 14 likes from 269? That's great. Gregory, you think 8 black sources and not 7? I guess that's true. We do have just a lot of 1-drop greens, and then it gets to. All right, how many green sources do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 13. Oh yeah, we need to cut 1 forest for 1 more swamp. That's right. The thing is we have a lot of 2-drop green once we get to our 4-drops and later. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine as is. The only thing that's double black is skin render. That's it. We're gonna run it as is. This seems fine.